Whew. All right. Just making sure everything's good. We're all here. I'm here. Everybody else is here. You guys can hear me okay, right? You guys can hear all right. Yeah. So, let's just get to it. Because, you guys got here a little late, right? Let's get to it. Why are people saying I'm sick? I'm not sick. Maybe because I didn't shave? Maybe because I didn't shave. I don't know. The cough I've had for over a month now. It started in early January. I got a cold in early January. I got a cough during that cold. Didn't go away. It's going down now. Spade, thanks for being a Yonko tier member for 5 months. Congrats on 10k subs for Manga Morj. Oh, I'm so happy about Manga Morj's progress right now. I'm very happy about Manga Morj's progress. I've got some good videos coming for Manga Morj. The next one is a Berserk video. I'm happy to see that Berserk... I was going back and forth on what the next video was going to be. Berserk won that best manga of all time tournament that we ran on the channel a little bit ago, on the main Morj channel, a couple streams back. I want to say last Monday. Did we do it last Monday? Man, time flies. Yeah, probably last Monday we did it. Berserk won that. I was like, alright, that's kind of tipping the scales in my mind. We're going to do Berserk next. Remix King, thanks for being a Yonko tier member for a month. Since I've been a member for 1 month, I must ask a very important question. How far are you in your Pokemon Adventures reading? Oh, god damn it. I'm actually very, very far. My favorite part was when Ash met Pikachu and Pikachu said this truly was our Pokemon Adventures. You know? Oh shit, it's about that guy Red, right? Never mind. Hair makes me look sick. Yeah, I mean I just took a shower. My hair's pretty flat. What happened to your hair, says Yamato? I literally just stepped out of a shower. It'll look poofier by the end of this stream. Jordan Tiller says, I can't believe Morj has the Isoni disease. Well, we all know the solution to that. It's literally just fire. Just heat. Chopper went to medical school for like 10 years just to learn. Oh my god! Guys, set yourselves on fire! Remix King says Pokemon Adventures 1 stop spreading lies. I did forget about that. I forgot that it was the full thing. Smell My Finger 01 says, you know what else happened during the stream? You skipped my super chat. I demand Bollywood dance. That's not true. I answered it at the end. Not during stream, but I responded through chat. Did you not see the chat message? I responded in chat. I responded, I swear. Alright, I'll respond to it right now. I'll respond to it right now so we can get this lie cleared up. I responded at the last second in chat before the chat closed, but I can verbally respond as well. Let's see what you asked. It was something dumb, probably. Where was it? Where was it? Oh, it was the stream before. It was... God damn it. We gotta go all the way back here. Okay, he said, truly devastated. Ippo had to face Berserk. It clearly wasn't gonna go in Berserk's favor. It clearly was gonna go in Berserk's favor. Feel like it should get bonus points since Miura trained under Morikawa and named him as his biggest inspiration. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool to know. I'm gonna be honest, like, way back when, I think I talked about this before, but way back when I tried Berserk not Berserk. Berserk I tried multiple times, just as a quick tangent. Berserk I tried multiple times and was turned off by, the Black Swordsman arc, I personally don't think. It's kind of like, you know how we go back and we look at the early parts of One Piece and we really are like, whoa, this is really, like, there's just so much nostalgia associated with it, and we can kind of appreciate it for what it is, its simplicity, the characters, etc. For me, Berserk, I look back at the Black Swordsman arc now and I'm like, yeah, it's a cool arc. It's a cool arc, especially the ending, introduces some cool stuff, establishes some good points about Guts' character. But at the time, the Black Swordsman arc dropped me twice. I literally couldn't understand why Berserk was considered so good, because I'm reading Black Swordsman, I'm like, this just seems like generic, dark, edgy type stuff. You have to get to Golden Age to really understand how amazing Berserk is, in my opinion. So you can't expect maybe some new readers like it right away from Black Swordsman. It dropped me twice. So off of that, let me also mention Ippo. I tried reading chapter 1 of Ippo way back. I think like early high school or something like that. This was before I was really into too many manga. And the art style was just not my thing. I didn't enjoy Ippo's art style. The characters just seemed so crude and like not visually unpleasant to look at that I just dropped it pretty early on. So I don't know. Guys, let's get the stream likes to 100. Okay, what is Ace Manga? Asked Rene Preston. Isn't that the question of the day? So, I know that... Okay, so for those of you who don't know about this. All right, Oda has released side novels. I think an Ace novel. I think a Law novel. Side novels, right? He's released side novels. He's kind of doing his George R.R. Martin thing where, you just, your series is so successful, it's like, fuck it, let me just talk about some other random shit that's not going to make it into the main story. Unlike George R.R. Martin, Oda is still continuing to work on the main story and prioritizing that, whereas George R.R. Martin is kind of like, fuck this. George R.R. Martin is like, he's in a video game, and he's like, pretty close to taking on Ganon, but the last couple dungeons seem kind of hard. So he's like, you know what, I'm just going to spend all my time doing side quests. And then everyone's yelling at him like, Link, you gotta go save... Hyrule and defeat Ganon, and you're so close. It's just a couple more dungeons. He's like, I'm done with doing these dungeons, man. Let me do my side quests, man. I'm having a lot of fun with the side quests. That's what George R.R. Martin is doing. Oda's more of the type of person that's, he's doing the dungeons, but at the same time, he's taking time in between to do the side quests. So, sorry if I'm giving a video game analogy on this. That's just where my head's at right now, because I don't know if I mentioned this and complain about this, but I'm playing Dark Souls, so that's just where my head's at right now. Normally I don't play video games just because I feel like they're too time consuming and I get too into them, and I just never grew up with video games or whatever, but recently I have been trying out some single player video games and I've been enjoying them quite a bit. So anyway, that's why the analogy is what it is. Long story short, Oda has released side content for us. I don't know how many of you have tried the side content. I don't really try the side content, but I do read plot summaries and plot descriptions just because it's good to know, because we are supposed to take this stuff as canon, right? So if I talk about One Piece on YouTube and make a lot of videos about it, I should know what is and isn't canon. That's important for me to do, right? So I do know the general gist of things that happen in the Ace novel. I think a couple of the names of characters that he meets. I know the gist of certain things, basically. That's where we're at, all right? So I know the gist of certain things. So because I know the gist of certain things, this is not like a completely blind read-through, but here's the thing. We're not reading the novel. These side novels, have been adapted by artist Boichi, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, author of Dr. Stone. Let's see. Boichi, Dr. Stone? Boichi, right? Yeah. So it's been adapted by him, and so we've got a full other canonical side manga to read, and I've never read this just because I haven't. Because I read the plot summaries beforehand. The side stuff is drawn by different artists, so for me it's just not as much, like, it feels a little like if this is stuff being drawn by Oda, then I'm all down to read it. Because it's being drawn by a side artist, I always kind of eyed it as kind of like, I don't know. There is going to be questions about the art style. The art style is drastically different. We can get into that as we start to read. Futingo, thanks for being a Yonka tier member for 5 months. Not to deflate the balloon, but the Ace manga cuts lots from the Ace light novel. It's like watching an episode of One Piece special instead of an arc. That's okay, because, for me, I've only read the summaries. So if I've only read the summaries, it's like, it's going to be more content than I've just read, in paragraph format, right? So even if it's less content than the official novel, it's still way more content than anything I've read. Brim says, what do you think about Zoro having the epithet Yonko Hunter at the end of the story? You'd have to kill a Yonko to do that, right? He'd have to take on some Yonko, wouldn't he? Alieto5, thanks a lot. I actually recently ran into Morj at a Wendy's. I asked for his autograph, and he promptly put me a headlock and brutally delivered blow after blow perfectly to the center of my face. This continued for a total of 6 minutes and 18 seconds, after which he spat on me. I'm currently in the hospital recovering from the physical and mental trauma. Keep up the great work, Morj. Yeah, and don't let me catch you around that Wendy's again. I'll do it again. Thanks for telling me thanks for the great work. Okay. Low volume. This is the volume it's like always at. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I can increase the volume slightly. All right, we're gonna increase it slightly, just ever so slightly, a tiny bit. That's enough. That's good enough. All right. Yeah, it looks like Dr. Stone. Renee Preston says it's called Episode of Ace. Yes, and this is in fact a what we call a lie, because it's not an episode. It's just it's a manga chapter, right? It'd be if somebody called a movie manga of Shanks or some shit. I don't know. That's not what it is, right? So let me pull this shit up. Oh, and good news, we're gonna be screen sharing for this, because I assume that no one, it's not like it's a new chapter or anything like that, so it's okay to put it up. Has anybody read this? Who's read this? Who has read this? I assume some of you guys are One Piece fans, right? I assume some of you've read this. Diaklia says, well, I'm relatively new to the A Song of Ice and Fire fandom, so I might have just been baited, but George seems to have been doing a lot of interviews and stuff lately as well, which I assumed was as promotion. Yeah, maybe he's promoting it more, but I don't know. I don't know if that means that he's actually getting, if he gets out book 6, the bigger question is he going to get out book 7? Okay, a lot of people have read it. Okay. Manny Corral says I started it like an hour ago. Okay. To speed run before I get to it. Green Princess says Ace Manga isn't One Piece. Ray Uchiha says I've read the novel. Why isn't it One Piece? Isn't it canonical? I'm sure that the style and probably dialogue will probably be a little different. Mr. Creston asking what's One Piece? Is it good? Yes. Smellifinger says it's okay. Took way too much time and I kept losing interest waiting on a new chapter. Alright. Yeah, Winds of Winter, I don't know. I mean, I've read the first book, Game of Thrones. So I like the writing style, and I enjoy, I'm sure that he's still a good writer in that sense. It's just, I personally can't get invested in stuff where I never know if the ending's coming. Wrench Dodger 2000 says LMAO, Winds of Winter is coming. George has been sitting on this book for over a decade. Okay. All right. Let's roll. So, wait, are we rolling? Yeah, let's roll. The art, that's going to be the first discussion point. First discussion point is obviously going to be the art. Let me make sure I've got this pulled up properly. Come on. Let's see. The link was sent to me. Where is it? Shit, where is it? Oh my god. Where is it? Okay, hold on. God damn it. I had the link earlier. Where is it now? Okay, I got it. Okay. Oh, is this going to be in color? Alright, I'll show you guys what I'm looking at in a second. I just got to make sure that... Yeah, it looks like this is going to be legit. Is there another chapter? Yep. Okay, cool. We got the chapters. We got the chapters that we need. We're good to go. Cloaksy says, Morj, I can't get invested if I don't know if it'll get an ending. Cloaksy says, also Morj, Hunter x Hunter fan. Two things on that real quick, which is Hunter x Hunter, I think at the time that I got into it, the argument, like, people weren't saying, when I got into Hunter x Hunter, people weren't saying, oh, he's never gonna finish it, right? Because when I got into Hunter x Hunter, it was while the boat arc was still going and just getting batches of releases, basically. At that point in time, I think Hunter x Hunter was actually slightly more consistent in releases than Berserk. Even Berserk at the time was still getting chapters released, all right? So I got into those series and read them first time around while they were still essentially in production. I just knew that they were in hiatuses, right? But it's like hiatuses doesn't mean anything. I think then Hunter x Hunter went on a huge ass gap for like a long period of time. So at that point, I was like less into Hunter x Hunter, just because I didn't want to get invested into it. And then, luckily, around the time that I got really back into Hunter x Hunter was the same point where he made those announcements that, you know, he's really going to start pushing the story again and everything like that. So, and the way he's talking about it right now, it seems like he's really committed to at least getting through the next arc. So we take it arc by arc. All right, let's do it. Ender Ainami says it's on TCB, lol. What? I'm just going to read it on TCB then. No, it's not. Where is it? You guys can't trick me. I mean, you can, but I would just prefer if nobody did. I don't see it on TCB. Oh, wait, I found it. Okay. Yeah, we'll read it on TCB. Okay. I can get rid of this thing. All right, everybody. Let's get into it. Okay. So this is going to be like a real reaction. I don't think I've read straight up chapter reactions to things since I did Chainsaw Man. I think I did I did a couple One Piece chapters live reactions. But this is, I guess, different because this is like something that I really have no... Usually when I'm reading a One Piece chapter, somebody... maybe I'll have gotten spoiled on something like that, or... Well, I guess I know what happens in this too, for the most part, kind of. I don't remember all the details, but I know the gist of it. Okay, maybe it's not all that different. I will say, basically, it's blind in the sense that I really, really don't know what to expect quality-wise. When I'm reading a One Piece chapter, I know what I'm in for, you know what I mean? Peter Falk says, do you think Usopp needs a power-up for his arc in Elbaf to make sense? Especially if he's going against Yasop, leading the Giants, etc. Usopp's an interesting situation, maybe because my assumption is just that Yasop is probably one of Shanks' strongest crewmates. I'm not going to go ahead and say he's like... You know, if we had to really do a guess, I think it might be fair to say something like, okay, probably Beckman 1, easy. Then probably Lucky Root 2, then Yasop 3. If that's too high for Yasop, maybe Yasop's like top 5 or something like that. But my guess would be that Yasop is one of the higher up members in the crew. One of the other reasons that we have to believe this is that I think that there was a side story in Logtown that the One Piece... I just want to make sure I'm saying this definitely correctly, but there's a side story that took place in Logtown that was only in the anime. And I believe it's supposed to be canon. Is Daddy Masterson canon? Is he canon? Maybe not. No. It's not. He's not canon. Well, it seems it's interesting because Oda was going to include them in the arc. Is the thing. He was going to include them in the arc. He has official drawings and stuff of them, and then he cut them. So we won't talk about this, but it was interesting that he lost to Yasop or something like that. Ender Anami says, no way Yasop is comedy relief like Usopp. Yeah, I just don't think that's the case, right? So then the question becomes, how would Usopp actually beat Yasop? My guess is that it would be something like... along the lines more of you know, let's say I'm under the assumption it's a Davy Back fight. Alright, so take everything I'm saying with the assumption that it's a Davy Back fight. Davy Back fight, most things aren't straight up fights, right? There's a twist to them, right? They're games, they're not fights. Luffy versus Foxy, it's combat. It seems like final round is the only one that's a true fight. And even then it's a fight with rules in that it's a ring out situation, right? So there's technicalities in theory as to how a weaker person could beat a stronger person or something like that, if in theory, right? But let's say it's that's the most extreme example, right? If it was combat. The other Davy Back fight things are games. So even if Usopp couldn't beat Yasop in a straight up battle or duel, I do wonder if Usopp goes up against Yasop in some format, if it's a Davy backfight format, it's some sort of a game setting, then there's a ton of ways with Usopp with his, depending on what the game's rules are, what the setup is. I like to believe that Oda has something creative in mind for it, where even if Usopp's not necessarily as strong of a fighter, he doesn't have armament haki. I would assume Yasopp definitely can shoot bullets with armament haki and things like that. Even if Usopp can't do all of the sniping things that Yasopp can do, Usopp shines definitely in formats where he can use lots of ingenuity and tricks to his advantage, you know? So I would love to see some sort of a setup where he gets to outplay Yasopp, who is a stronger character than him, and he beats Yasopp without it necessarily being like, oh, Usopp is a Yonko commander level character now. Because that's just, you know, his strengths at the end of the day. And I think it would be especially good considering in Wano he got nothing, right? And Usopp really hasn't had a... If you actually go through all of post-time skip, I think Dressrosa was a good arc for Usopp. And to date, Usopp's observation haki moment against... his observation haki moment against Sugar is, to date, one of my favorite Usopp moments, period. And I think still arguably my favorite. It's one of my top 3 favorite moments in Dressrosa for sure. It's one of my definitely favorite moments in Dressrosa. I thought that was really, really, really cool. I think that that whole chapter, if you go back and read it again, I think it's a really, really, really well done chapter. And probably Usopp's best, I think easily Usopp's best sniping moment in the entire series. Easily his best sniping moment in the series. But, that being said, if you look throughout the entire New World, right, Usopp hasn't gotten one of his classic fights, right? So I wouldn't call Usopp versus Sugar a fight. It was a single shot. It was a one-shot, one-kill, right? The fight he had was off-screen. It was against Treble and stuff, and he lost. And then he took out Sugar as a gag. But Usopp hasn't had one of those classic fights that we've come to expect, like Usopp versus Chu, Usopp and Chopper versus Mr. Four, Usopp versus Perona, things like that. Fights where he's dropped into a situation where he's up against a much stronger opponent, and then he has to use his brains to overcome them. That didn't happen, you know. Fishman Island, that was a flex arc. Usopp beat somebody who he was clearly supposed to beat, right? He kind of steamrolled that Fishman. Then Dressrosa wasn't that. It was a cool sniping moment, but not a fight moment, right? Usopp actually lost the match where he was up against a stronger opponent, which was Treble. Then we get to Whole Cake, he's not there, Zoe, it's not that type of arc. Wano was the arc that really I thought that we're getting to something really big, and I did talk about that a lot throughout the Wano arc, which is that, man, Oda's really making Usopp look like a bitch throughout this arc, like more than usual. I can't wait to see what it's leading up to. And then it didn't lead to anything, and I was like, okay, damn, that's a thing. But I feel like all that is leading to, in that case, Elbaf, where Usopp will be in his most lopsided match ever, maybe against the best sniper in the world right now, his dad. And I think that could be one of the best fights that Oda has planned for a long time. So I'm excited for Usopp and Elbaf for sure. Anyway, let's get to this. Oh, wait, I'm almost skipping it. Okay. My name is Mask Deuce. Okay, so surprises already for me. I thought his name was just Deuce. Who's Mask Deuce? Alright. Wait, do I have to read out loud? Ah, shit, I forgot about this. Okay, the way I read One Piece chapters when I've done live reactions is I've kind of read them. I've done a mix, right? So mostly I've just read them. But, okay, here's the difference. I think, you know what? The biggest difference is this. I was thinking there's something different about this. When I live react to One Piece chapters, I'm reacting to something, and I don't do that often, but I'm reacting to something that everybody else has already read and is very familiar with. Usually if I'm reacting like One Piece chapter 1060, that means that everybody else has already read 1060. They're fresh off it. They read it probably earlier in the day or in the last hour or something. And then they're tuning in to watch my reaction. So I don't feel the need to reenact everything that's going on. You already know it. You're looking for my organic reactions. With this, even though it sounds like a lot of you have read it, I doubt many of you are like intimately familiar with this. Like, how many times do you guys go back and reread this chapter or something like that? So with this, I feel like more of a pressure, I guess, to kind of talk out loud so that we're all following along together. You know what I mean? Okay, that's the difference. So my name is Mask Deuce. I thought his name was just Deuce. So this is the first big twist that we're getting, right? Ender Ainami says, read aloud and give every character their own voice. We'll try, man. Alright, this tale is... I like the artwork. Oh, wait, am I not supposed to say that? I mean, Okay, we'll talk. We'll address the artwork in a second. This tale is the true account of man that lived his life akin to a raging fire. Like it? Okay. Here's what I don't like. I don't like. How do I say this? I like the artwork and I don't like the artwork. I feel like everything is. It's more technically detailed than Oda's, right? It's more technically detailed than Oda's by far. I don't like Oda doesn't draw background setups like this, right? Especially with this sort of slightly more complex angling and everything like that. And excuse me if I don't use good artistic terminology. I that's not my personal forte. I can only call it like I see it, right? But you don't really see Oda draw stuff like this in the background. You know, a background setup like this that's as detailed with this sort of more, more specific angling where there's a tilt, etc. Basically, right? So this sort of perspective, it's not a typical One Piece shot, I would say. However, I don't personally like. I've got nothing against Boichi as an artist because I used to be a Dr. Stone fan. I say used to. For those of you who don't know, he also writes this series, Dr. Stone, and I would actually recommend this series because it's a fun series. It's definitely very, very fun series, especially early on. I can't say as much for later on in the series because I haven't progressed to later on. But here's the thing. His style definitely works well with Dr. Stone. And it gives it a very distinct feel. Very, very distinct feel. I think it works well in this series. I think it's cool with Dr. Stone. But the tricky thing is, if you guys are curious about Dr. Stone, it's basically humanity wakes up post-apocalyptic and everything like that. But it's heavily focused on science with this one dude, this genius dude, basically reinventing all of mankind's technology from scratch. And that's the general plot of it, basically, okay? So it's an entertaining series. The only reason I stopped catching, I let it go by too many chapters, and it's a bitch to binge through because a lot of chapters are really dense with scientific explanations, basically. So it's not fun to... Yeah, I mean, it can be fun to binge if you're in the mood, basically. But I recommend giving it a try. But all that being said, I don't like his style applied to One Piece just because... it feels like Luffy's not the type of character I feel like, and Ace is not. The way they're drawn, I think, is just it conflicts with the tone of the One Piece world a little bit, and it makes it a bit too realistic compared to how I view these characters normally, So, man, the One Piece live action is in for some difficulty. All right. This island is surrounded by special currents. Anything that draws close to it is forcefully pulled in, and those who enter the island have no way out. Okay. Hence, the island is referred to as the Ocean's Antlion Pit. I'm always down for some more interesting islands in One Piece. Is this all canon? You guys can confirm it's canon? Right? This is canon, right? This is a real existing island in One Piece. And on this island in the Eastern Sea, so it's in East Blue, yet another victim has... oh, it's him. I'm not going to read everything out loud. All right, I'll read some stuff. It's no use. I'm so hungry I can't think. There are no... See, I like this. Like, it's a mix, right? It's not black and white in terms of... is the art better or not? I can appreciate vistas like this. I think what it comes down to is I don't love character designs for characters that I already know. See, this character, Masked Deuce, right? His name is Masked Deuce. He would fit right into Dr. Stone. It's when I see One Piece characters that I already know of that I don't like being dropped into this series as much. But maybe I get used to it. There are no beasts to hunt, and even fish don't come to the shore. That doesn't really make sense, though, right? Because anything that draws close to it is forcefully pulled in. So wouldn't a lot of shit be getting trapped here? Maybe animals are too smart to do it. Okay. I never thought I'd be giving up on writing on a deserted island like this. What? Okay. I'm... I thought this said Brago for a second. Just because it's B-R-A-G. But then I forgot it's Bragman. It's the story, stories that are in the series. Island Sanji says, trying to get into cinematography got any tips? What do you mean trying to get into? Like, you're trying to get into it as a hobby, or you're trying to get into it for real, you know? Because if you're trying to get into it as a hobby, the reality is that there's a lot of YouTube videos that you should be watching and everything like that before anything else. Like, just watch a lot of YouTube videos that teach you the basics, like rule of thirds and shit like that, how you should configure your camera and all of that stuff. Watch that stuff first, and then eventually you can work your way over to, I guess, like, actually considering a course or something like that. But if you're thinking, like, hey, I want to be, like, an actual cinematographer or something, don't you go to film school for that? Little garden, the island where giants live. To think that a world like this exists beyond the seas. One day I'll also write something like this. I like this character. A travel journal that'll shock everyone. I could never show that young, enthusiastic kid the harsh reality that I'm facing now. I like this kid. Oh, the beach here looks like a much better place to set sail from. Okay, so Ace has already been stuck on this island. That's funny. I forget, has Ace eaten the marinara meat or not yet? Is Power Vision here? Morj looking sleek? They were telling me the opposite, but thanks, man. Well, look at that. There was another person here, too. I thought it was only me. I'm just going to get used to the art style of Ace. Again, I like the art style of everything else. I just... See, this is more One Piece. This... Look at these panels. This is how Oda would draw it. You know? This is more... Obviously more detailed than this, but this is closer to One Piece than anything else. A person. By any chance, did you come here to rescue? Pleased to meet you. My name is Ace. I was thrown overboard while sailing and I happened to come to this island. You too? God damn it. Well, I see this coincidence as some kind of fate. Want to ride along? I have my ship here. Is that dilapidated coffin what you're calling a ship? It's not like I can't swim. If it sinks, I'll just try again. Okay. So this is pre-Marimara. If you don't even have a frame to put it on the keel. There's no point in testing a ship that'll get destroyed by the tiniest of waves. At least gather some wood of even length to cover up all the cracks. Whoa, you're amazing. To think that you could pick out so many flaws at just one glance. Are you some kind of shipwright? Nah, anyone who rides a ship should at least know that much. Well, I don't. That isn't something to brag about. Hey, if it's good with you, can you help me build a new ship? It'd be like having 100 men. What? You know, with the currents like that around the island, paddling on wind-blown ships aren't going to cut it. There's an inlet where floating things drift ashore. Want to come? I'll lead the way. Oh, this is nice. Oh, look at that. Whoa. See, Oda can't draw this. I mean, he can if he had enough time, obviously, but, like, he's not going to draw this in, like, a week-to-week manga, you know? Damn, this looks cool. I want to go play Dark Souls. I want to go back to playing Dark Souls. I'm having fun with the game again. I think last time I talked to you guys, I was complaining a bunch because I was in Blighttown, but I just completed Anor Londo, and that was the best level by far, the best area by far. So cool. I also completed the painting world. That was really, really cool. So I'm in a really happy spot. I want to go play Dark Souls. The sword and dragon shit is reminding me of that. I've thrown away my real name along with my face. Ah, that explains the mask. I've been looking for a good pen name. A pen name. Isn't it Mask Deuce? My goal is to become a writer. I like this guy. Is Oda basing him off himself? I'm surprised there's no mangaka or, like, artists in One Piece. There's no, like, aspiring artists that we know of, right? More importantly, shouldn't like the best artist in One Piece that we know of is Usopp, isn't it? Ender Ainami says, "Where are all the reaction panels? I don't know how to feel without them." Wait, what? What reaction panels? When the gargoyles carry you off over the cliff. Yeah, no. Fuck those. Okay, those little demon things. Most of you won't know what I'm talking about, but there's these demon things that grab you in Dark Souls because you complete something. So they grab you and they fly you off to this other land to complete this really cool level, right? So you're like, wow, these demon things, they're really nice. And if you go and talk to them, then they'll fly you back, right? But then you're traveling through the rest of the level, and then there's more more of these demon things, and then these ones try and kill you. And I'm like, I thought these guys were my friends, which is really frustrating because in Dark Souls, most everything tries to kill you. These are the ones who have helped me the most by far, right? They've flown me all the way from here to here, and even they're trying to kill me. And I'm just like, I thought these guys were my friends. This is really uncool. Also, the one thing in Dark Souls is I've never used okay. So you guys know Solaire. This is the problem when you don't know and you're just playing the game without knowing shit, right? Okay. I found out that you can, for lots of bosses, you can summon a buddy named Solaire, right? You can summon this buddy named Solaire. And I was having trouble at the Bell Gargoyles, and people were like, why don't you just summon Solaire for it? Right? This is what I was reading after I'd already beaten it and stuff like that. My thing is basically I beat a level, then I go back and like read what people are talking about it or watch videos and stuff because it's fun to relive the experience and see what other people were feeling about it. So lots of people were like, Bell Gargoyles weren't that hard because we summoned Solaire. And I'm like, Solaire, how'd you summon Solaire? Fuck, was that one dude that I met in that really sunny place that was talking about the sun and shit that I killed? Because I don't think I could summon that dude anymore for the rest of the game. I'm actually really upset that the game just... I guess it's for the best because I'd rather not have that option of just summoning that dude to help with stuff, but I'm like, isn't it fucked that one decision you make... Like, I'm playing this game, I'm so used to at this point everything being an enemy and everyone trying to kill me, so I meet this one dude who clearly looks like a knight. I'm like, okay, he's talking about some weird shit, talking about some random bullshit. Obviously, I'm supposed to kill him at the end of this conversation. So then I just hit him a bunch, and then he started trying to kill me, which validated my feelings that I'm supposed to be killing him. He did successfully kill me. I had to run back, try again, use up all my... I was not good back at the beginning of the game. It was actually hard killing Solaire. I'll just say that. So I put a lot of work into killing this man, because he killed me the first time. And then I found out all the way later he's supposed to be my friend. I'm like, friends don't do that. My opinion. Same with the fucking demon things that flew me to Anor Londo. Anyway, the reason that, what do you call? Ice Cream Gnome says, why would you kill Solaire? He's so nice. No, because if you hit... I'm surprised people didn't kill Solaire. I've killed every one of these helper NPC. Once I realized the system, right, I was kind of like on a roll of like, okay, well, I killed Solaire. I'm just going to kill these NPC helper dudes anytime I run into them because... This is, it's at this point, that's just kind of the route I've decided to take, basically. I haven't done that to merchants or anything like that. Like, I'm not going to kill Andrea Fostoria. I fucking need him. But, I killed Solaire because you have to get in my mentality. I had just died to the Taurus Demon a few times. I finally killed the Taurus Demon, right? Taurus Demon's not hard, but you have to run through a bunch of shit to get to him again. So I killed the Taurus Demon. I'm feeling good. Killed my first boss. It frustrated me a few times. So I run down the stairs and stuff. Run into this nice sunny place. I see this dude, and I'm just in the zone where I'm like, I'm the man. I just killed this boss. Who is this bitch trying to talk to me about the sun and some weird shit? He's going down. So I started hitting him and I don't know. I needed to work off some steam, right? I feel good. I've just beaten the boss, right? So let me just beat up on this one dude who's just sitting around, right? And then he gets out his, I forget if he had a sword or what. He started throwing lightning, like bolts of stuff at me. That's the main thing that I remembered. And at that point I knew that he was a bad guy, right? Because at that point it's so obvious. He's trying to kill me. So it's just like, obviously he's a bad guy that I'm supposed to kill. Because you have to understand, the only video games I've played before this are Legend of Zelda. And in Zelda, I played Sekiro before this, but Sekiro, same rule. Generally, NPCs that are your friends, you can't hurt them, right? And in Sekiro, I couldn't kill Emma. I couldn't kill Kuro. I couldn't kill the sculptor. I couldn't hit these guys. I couldn't physically touch them. So in my mind, same thing in Zelda. If someone's your friend, you can't touch them, right? Because they're your friend. The game's not going to want you to kill them. It makes no sense to me that I'm able to hit this character if he's not a bad guy that I'm supposed to kill. Anyway, let's move it along. So I don't have Solaire. People have been asking me to stream Dark Souls. Here's the compromise I made, which is I'll stream some Sekiro at some point. Right now I'm in Dark Souls mode. And I'll stream Dark Souls after I beat it. For me, streaming a game kills the enjoyment. Like, anytime if I have to stream something, it hurts my actual enjoyment of the thing. Not to a major degree, but, like, it's just... when I'm in a game, I want to be immersed in the game. I also play Dark Souls offline because I don't want to feel like there's other players and like phantoms and stuff running around and read messages and other stuff that people left, because I just want to feel immersed in the game. I just want to be in my comfort zone, a happy place. I don't want to have to feel like I'm entertaining or there are people watching me and stuff like that, right? But Sekiro I've already beaten, so it's like, well, at this point I can just stream it for entertainment. Dark Souls, once I beat, maybe I play a new game of it or move on to Dark Souls 3 or something. Anyway, Isaiah Davis says, what are the ramifications for Zoro as a character if Zoro loses to Mihawk in the Davy backfight situation? It gives Usopp more motivation to surpass his father to clutch it up for his crew. Here's the thing. Yeah, let me talk One Piece. Enough Dark Souls. So with... I don't want it to be at Zoro's expense, because it's kind of just like, if Zoro loses to Mihawk here, Zoro losing to Mihawk would be amazing for Zoro's character, because I think he kind of just needs the... I really don't think Zoro's had a good character bit, period, in the New World so far. I just don't think he has. King was the first time he genuinely struggled. Like, the first time he genuinely struggled and was outmatched in a fight. Because, like, even if you're looking at... Like, even on Roof Piece, Zoro just looked really, really good on Roof Piece, right? He was never made to look bad for a moment on Roof Piece. Even when Zoro was basically out of the fight, he was out of the fight because he did the most impressive feat on the roof, which was blocking Kaido and Big Mom's combined attack. So Roof Piece was really just, Zoro's been getting hyped and hyped and hyped and hyped, like, for every arc throughout the New World. He just always is doing badass stuff. I'm waiting for something difficult to happen to him. Then he's on the roof with Yonko and stuff like that, and he's still getting basically sucked off by Oda. Then the King fight happens, and for the first time, Oda's making it seem like, okay, Zoro's really human. He can't beat this dude. And then he gets Advanced Conqueror's Haki, and, he wraps it up, right? Cool. What I would love to see is some character stuff come out of it for him in general, like see him grow in some way. Him losing to Mihawk would be really, really perfect for that. But I just don't know if we're at a point where Oda would have Zoro lose to Mihawk. I feel like the next time Zoro faces Mihawk, he's gonna win, right? I just feel like that's where we're at. Aren't we at a point where Zoro's just gonna win if he faces Mihawk? I have a hard time seeing it any other way, but it would be a pleasant surprise if Oda's able to do it in a way that, feels right. Let me talk about something real quick about this, which is that it's... Okay, so with Ace, right? Let me move this along, and then I'll give my comment about Ace, because it is something interesting, and I think it's something that not a lot of people talk about with regards to his character, but I'm seeing it more here. So here it is. I've gathered the stuff we can use. What we'll use this for? Banquets. That's funny. Even water will get you drunk if it's inside one of those. That's funny. Don't get drunk. We're building a ship here. Okay. I'll just talk about it now. I'll talk about it now because it feels relevant now. So, Ace is an interesting character to me because I feel like... How do I say this? The Ace that we first met, that most people kind of really, really grew to love as a character, the Ace that we first met in Alabasta was very much this... he gave off this type of personality, right? This type of personality, which was basically... It was Luffy-esque in many ways, right? So it was Luffy-esque in many ways. It was... I feel like we're going to be around 156. Did I get it? Did I nail it? Nah. A little bit off. 57. Ace appears. Okay. So, like, he felt much more Luffy-esque. Right? This is the way that we first meet him, right? He's fallen asleep very carelessly in a plate of food. He wakes up, kind of like, yeah, kind of just a bit of a dummy, a bit of a lovable dummy. I must have fallen asleep. This is a funny scene, by the way. You're running some kind of comedy club here. We're worrying about you. I love this. I feel like this comes up too often when I talk about One Piece, but I do feel like pre-time skip, there was just more time for Oda to let out a full comedy scene, like to let a full comedy scene play out where, like, it's complicated. One Piece is still funny because Oda is naturally funny, so he can write naturally funny bits of dialogue or background gags and stuff like that that are happening, or quick rapid gags, right? I think pre-time skip Oda did devote more time to, and I'll get to my ace point in a second. I feel like pre-time skip Oda did devote more time to just straight up writing a comedy scene. So, for example, you know, this is a long ass scene, right? It opens up he's dead silent, face down. Seems like he's died. I get a full page of focus on him and everything like that, really setting the scene, really setting the exposition and stuff, really talking up the poison and all of the symptoms and everything like that. Everybody really bemoaning what happened. Like, this is a long drawn out. This is a lot of dialogue and everything like that, really going in. Oh, he's alive. Holy shit. And then he's immediate gag. He's clearly shown to be crude and kind of crass. Just wipes his face with her dress. Everybody spent the last 5 minutes talking about him and what's going on with him. He's like, my bad. I must have fallen asleep. Everyone's freaking the fuck out. They're trying to explain the gravity of the situation. He's like, what the fuck's wrong with these guys? They're like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Then he goes straight back to sleep. It's actually a really funny scene. Really funny scene. So, that's my little TED Talk on that, basically. I actually fucking hate that phrase. That's my TED Talk on that. Why did I say it? Maybe because I hate it so much, it's buried in the back of my brain, so I accidentally said it. I'll never say it again. If I ever say thank you for listening to my TED Talk again, I want everyone to spam cringe in chat. All right, besides that, this scene, right, it does exemplify the type of character that Ace was initially presented to us as, right? So very similar-esque in some sense to Luffy, not quite as dumb, but kind of very, the more that we read of him, he feels very carefree, kind of comical, kind of goofy. He's more confident than Luffy, right? Sorry, no can do. More confident, more confident, a bit more cocky, and just generally comes across as a bit more capable, right? But overall, right, a lot of his mannerisms and his mannerisms and his personality, it feels Luffy-esque in a way. So one of the biggest reasons people really liked Ace initially was because it was this combination of pretty much all the traits people really liked from Luffy, right? Slightly different, right? But a lot of the traits, he's kind of very blunt, kind of very comfortable with himself and saying or doing whatever's on his mind. Kind of goofy, a little bit dumb, a little bit clueless and unawares, but at the same time seems a bit more mature, a bit more wise, more confident, more capable. So he's kind of like Luffy, but if Luffy was a bit more, Luffy if Luffy was made cooler, basically, right? That's very, very different than what we got later on. So fast forward, right? Several hundred chapters. The Ace that we meet at Marineford, which is where we're kind of learning his true personality, right? Because we're being dropped into a storyline with Ace, basically, where he's being sentenced to death. And that Ace is very, very, very different, right? That's not to say that it's not obviously the same character. It's just that we really got no hints to that sort of really angsty character that's carrying so much pain, so much trauma, so much anger in his heart and everything like that. That Ace was nowhere to be. It's not the same character as we see here, right? We really didn't view him as that type of person, right? And the Ace that we get throughout Marineford has no hints of this original type of character, right? So this type of goofier, more carefree figure, like the Ace even the vibe that Oda's giving with how Ace travels around and everything, it's just cool big bro who is carefree surfer dude sailing the seas on basically a surfboard. It's really cool. To realize that he's this really, I don't want to use the word angsty again, but that's kind of it. He's like Ace throughout Marineford. It's very, very, very serious. However, he's written and talked about throughout that. And Ace as a child is the same thing. Ace as a child is not like this dude. Ace as a child is very much a mirror of that Marineford character, right? So this Ace that we initially met feels very different than the Ace that we got later on. Again, not saying this as a bad thing or anything like that. It's just we got to learn more about the character. But all of that is to say that the Ace that we're getting here in this novel feels a lot closer to the type of personality that he had by the time he was, by the time that he was grown teenager, like this Alabasta Ace. Does that make sense? Right? Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm not saying that this is that there's like anything wrong. Like I'm not trying to explain. Obviously, it makes sense why Ace wouldn't be all angry or upset, or the Marine Ford version of him that we saw here, right? But I'm just saying that there's, if you look at the if we look at Child Ace was never like this, right? Child Ace was never at any point like this. Marine Ford Ace was never at any point like this. Alabasta Ace was Alabasta and Cover Story Ace feel like a very different character. We didn't see the depths of him, right? So the way he's written in the flashback, Ace Luffy Sabo flashback, so the Child flashback, and Marine Ford Ace, those feel like one character, and then in the middle feels like this character that was the more happier version of himself that likely matured or whatever at some point. It's just that the Marine Ford conflict brought out the more, more trauma filled side of him, right? But then this kind of, I like how this feels more like the Ace that we initially got to know, right? More like the Ace that we initially got to know, because we really didn't get to see this dude after the Ace cover story. Ace and Blackbeard still felt like Ace and Blackbeard was kind of the transition point, right? Ace and Blackbeard, he still seemed like kind of calm, laid back, etc. Then as the fight got more serious, we saw a bit more of his greater motivations and feelings and stuff like that come out. And then by the time we're at Marine Ford, we're at like hella serious Ace basically from start to finish, right? So, and that obviously makes sense, right? I'm just saying that it felt like two very different characters. So here, I'm happy that we're getting a manga where I get to revisit, I guess, this era of Ace. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, where are we at? Getting praised by him probably played a part in it, but I felt drawn to Ace. He had a unique aura that compelled me to help him build his ship. Hey, are you burning the perfectly cut pieces? Like, I mean, think about it. Kid Ace, his personality was never like this. Kid Ace was 100% serious all the time, right? So this is closer to the Ace that I first got to know, right? If you scorch the surface and carbonize it, it increases its... Ace in the Yamato flashback, I don't remember what he was like. I think Ace in the Yamato flashback was... I don't feel like going back to read it, but I feel like that was closer to Alabasta Ace. Don't remember 100%. Increases its durability, fire resistance, and water resistance, though starting a fire takes a lot of work. Whoa. Okay, so Ace is interested in Bragman. How old are you? You still believe in that book full of lies? There's no way giants exist. Open your eyes and start facing reality, you idiot. I think I read that book a long time ago about Little Garden where giants live. Depending on what route we take, we might stumble upon it. Hehe, that sounds like fun. Raffi says it's the same character, two different sides, and layers to him. Yes, I know, I get that. I'm talking about... You guys think I'm saying they're literally two different characters, or that Oda just suddenly started writing Ace differently. I get that. I'm saying that in Alabasta, we saw no trace of Marine Ford Ace, and in Marine Ford, we saw no trace of Alabasta Ace, which is why, and we had a long time between those two arcs, which is why it felt like we're reading a whole different character when we got to the serious side of Ace, right? There's not really a link there that we got to see between those two sides, right? Obviously, same different character. Obviously, we got to see the deeper part of his personality. It's just this type of writing surrounding him, this sort of personality, basically, we only got it for his initial section of his story, right? Marine Ford, obviously, very serious time. His childhood, he hadn't, I guess, developed enough into being comfortable with himself and in his, his own skin, his persona, etc., to have developed the more carefree personality. So his child personality is very similar to his adult or Marine Ford personality. Speaking of giants, have you heard of the Legend of the Continent Puller? Oh, that's cool. So they're incorporating this shit? My grandpa told me a long time ago about an ancient legend of a guy that was bigger than giants. From what I've heard, is a descendant. Problem was time. There was only a limited amount of water, but we managed to secure some. However, we were two adults carrying out a heavy task of building a ship on empty stomachs. Yeah, they're probably hungry. The amount of time we could invest was already nearing its limit. The hunger shaved away at our stamina, and anxiety away at our souls, until we slowly got so weak that our bodies were giving out. Hey, are you okay? Don't push yourself. If you're not careful, it could be the end of you. My body had reached its limit. Yeah, Ace just keeps going. So a big storm happened. Oh, shit. Wait, what? This is a big deal. There's no helping it. We'll just have to build another one. Unlike you, I haven't had a single thing to eat this whole time. He says, wait, what are you talking about? I saw it. There was a pantry full of food on that ship that had been looted. Someone did that after it had drifted ashore. We haven't seen a single wild animal here. You and I are the only ones on this island. Oh, this is like a Sanji Zeph moment. This is cool. This is like a Sanji Zeph moment. I don't know what you're talking about. Hits him. I'm such an idiot. He was just some guy I just met. Why'd I put so much faith in him? I hit him without even thinking it. Oh, shit. I'll give this author, this manga, Boichi, props for the art right here. Wait, what? This thing, it's just one of the places it comes to hunt. There was a pantry full of food on that ship that had been looted. Someone did that. Oh, okay, so the bird monster picked it up. That guy, he didn't laugh at me, yeah. Oh, damn. Oh, this is such a cool scene. Look at this. He picks up the sword. Oh, damn. I like this scene a lot. Reminiscent of Luffy punching the Sea King. Oh, shit. Reminiscent of Shanks and the Sea King. See, I like the art in moments. It's just, it's not. It's. I like the art overall. I think I just generally don't like the characters, the way they're drawn moment to moment. I think really just Ace, because I'm so used to the design of Ace. But this is a really well drawn panel. You weren't wrong to suspect me. Ace is admitting that ever since he was a kid, he was a wanted criminal for dining and dashing. That's true. Okay. Decides if you had died of starvation without saying anything, would you have been full of regrets? I've already decided. That's a good point. Yeah, he's like, let it out. You don't have to fake being friends if you think I've been eating food. Yeah, that's true. Deuce didn't do anything wrong. It's a fair assumption to make. Why don't they eat the bird? They could have killed the bird and eaten the bird. What the fuck? Why didn't they eat the bird? This box, the bird spit out a box. Oh, oh, what? Okay, so Deuce is gonna give it to him to eat first, obviously, right? As thanks. Good for you. Go on and eat it already. Aren't you the one you're the one who found it? Don't be worrying about me. Oh, so they're being extra nice, pushing it on each other. Split it evenly. I had a question about this because I was just like, what happens if someone it's whoever has a bite of it first, right? Umer Ula says, Morj, are we getting a gaming stream this Thursday? I'll consider it. I might do Sekiro. The only tricky thing is that I'm playing Dark Souls right now. So I'm like, do I want to go back and play Sekiro just to stream for you guys? How about this? Let me finish Dark Souls, then I'll stream some Sekiro. Because I don't want to like stop playing Dark Souls just to play Sekiro to entertain you guys. No, but it'll be fun. I haven't done a gaming stream before. Alright, maybe I'll do Sekiro. Okay. We'll think about it. I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, so it's whoever bites it first, even if the fruit's divided or whatever. This taste is horrible, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so he eats it too. I'm going to write the most interesting adventure log the world has ever seen. Is this character still alive? I like Deuce. Okay. Oh, the first move he does is his finger gun. Oh yeah, Ace. I'm so dumb. I was just like, Okay, yeah, I'm like, oh, are we gonna have to go through the whole process of them like not knowing what devil fruits are and kind of having to find out? But I forgot. Ace obviously knows. I have a younger brother who once ate a devil fruit. Are you saying that fruit? It seems like it a fire ability, huh? Okay, okay, much better suited. Much better suited for battle than rubber. Yeah, Ace was never once impressed by Luffy's rubber abilities. I remember throughout their childhood fights and stuff, it was always like, does this Goma Goma attack even work? Accepting this way too easily. Looks like only the first person who eats it gets cursed by its power. Finish that last piece. We can't afford to waste food. This will surprise Luffy. We might be able to escape. If we make use of your new power, we might be able to escape this Antlion pit. Okay, so they're turning it into an engine sort of situation. The right amount of force to turn the paddles. All I have to do is control the flames so they spin at high speeds without burning them, pretty much. What are you up to? It's that giant bird. It looks like he needs to be taught another lesson. Dude, if they killed it... God damn it. It looks like it still wanted to eat you, masked man. Don't give me such a stupid name. We got our hands on an amazing power. A power that would provide us with both speed and stability while keeping our ship small. So this is the prelude to Ace's little... surfboard. Oh, I like this a lot. Them toasting with this. I actually really... It's just Ace's surfboard. It's already the surfboard. I didn't know. I thought that was something that would come later. Like, something that he developed while he was with Whitebeard or something. Damn. The bird is still coming. Fire Fist? Oh, it's a lot of birds. Oh, shit. Until we reach the very top. Started off with a bang. Fire Fist. Oh, man. Dude, I'm actually very, I like this a lot. It's actually making me sad about Ace all over again. His start was cooler than Luffy's start. I mean, not counting the Shanks story, but, like chapter 1. But chapter 2, the set off, Alvida. Man. From this day forward, I'll be known as Deuce. 2, I'll stand by your side. How does that sound? 1, Ace. What a convenient naming. Well, I guess that was something you... Okay, it makes sense now. It's very similar to Gold Roger being, his name is Gold Roger. And then his second in command is Silver's Rayleigh, so Ace is Ace, and then second is Deuce. That's a great pen name, don't you think? Mass Deuce. Okay, I see. Okay, so the Deuce title came later. I misunderstood that. Thus, the two of us formed what would later become the Spade Pirates. As we sailed across the fierce ocean full of strong adversaries, we gathered a few allies. Our crew became bigger. Okay, so we skip ahead. Cool. There isn't enough meat. You're the ones keep stealing food every night. It's a banquet, you morons. Who cares about that kind of stuff? Hey, Deuce, what are you doing in that corner? This is a banquet. Come get crazy with us. I thought I would write down everything that happened today while it's all still fresh in my head. Who's the rest of the crew? Funny stuff. They're already at the New World? Ace, on that island I swore I would always follow behind you. To this day, that has never changed. That's why I need to make sure of something. Are you serious about this? Yes. My feelings haven't changed either. My aim was always the pinnacle of this ocean. Our next target is somewhere in the New World. The man who fought toe-to-toe with the Pirate King, a living legend. This artwork of Whitebeard's ship is awesome. Do you guys like this artwork? Is this not amazing? Look at this. Isn't this awesome? Caleb Brown says Ace might have been a better main character, lol. I mean, look, at the end of the day, Luffy's a very unique main character. I wouldn't trade up Luffy at all for anything. And I think, like, a huge part of it, I talk about this at length, it's a huge focus of the Marineford video, which is Ace is written to be a more, the point is that Ace was supposed to be the next Joy Boy, supposed to be the successor to Roger and everything. Roger literally planned to give birth to Ace for that purpose. Everybody viewed Ace as the biggest name of the up-and-coming pirates and everything. Ace was Luffy's big brother that Luffy was chasing. So all of that was to lead to the more interesting route, which is the guy that we thought was it ultimately wasn't it, right? He could have probably been it, but he wasn't it. So now we go with option number 2. And option number 2, even though he's the less likely option, could be even better. Could be even better than option number 1, you know? And that's a more interesting story at the end of the day. Whoops. What did I do? God damn it. But I actually really like this chapter. This is surprisingly much more fun to read than I expected. I'll give my full thoughts in a second, but let me finish this out. Yeah, Whitebeard's ship looks so good. Hey Thatch, your cherry pie this morning was the best. Oh, god damn it. I don't know how happy I should be with a palate like yours. Aren't you honest? Why is his stomach so big here? I mean, it is big, but it just, in the realistic art style, it just seems more obnoxious. Knock, knock. Excuse me, Pops. Here's tonight's medicine. A brat with some fighting spirit has come up through the Grand Line. Gura Gura. Wait, so we should be able to see Ace versus Jinbei then. He turned down an invitation to join the 7 Warlords. So we're really far along. How long has he even been a pirate? Hey, kid. Why are you in such a hurry? Yeah, see, I don't like this. Characters that I already like, and I feel like Oda's art style of certain characters, I prefer it. But that's about it. Like, overall, the One Piece, you know what this reminds me a little bit of? A little bit of Vinland Saga style artwork. What Boichi really does differently than most people is how he draws people. And it's a love it, hate it thing. I like it in his series. I don't love it in this necessarily. But I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to Ace's art style here as well, too. Whitebeard I don't like at first glance. Before his flames had been put out, akin to a raging fire, Ace raced through the ocean. I will surpass the Pirate King. I like that mentality of his without a care for how much he burned. Yeah, because he's shooting to be above Roger, right? He hates his dad. He doesn't want to be the next Roger. He wants to go above. Okay, let me give quick thoughts on that. Then we got to see, because I thought I would honestly kind of speed through this, but these chapters are fun to read. So the things I liked a lot about this. Artwork overall I like. All right, artwork overall I like. First of all, can somebody tell me how canon all of this is? How canon is all of this? Are the novels written by Oda? Are they approved by Oda? Do we only just kind of know the gist? Is it speculation? I assume a lot of the dialogue is stuff that Boichi's having to make up, but I like the plot of this episode. It feels like a One Piece type plot, you know, maybe because of the similarity to the Sanji Zeph scenario, but it feels like a classic, you know, little One Piece type plot, which is Oda likes to show characters' true natures by I guess like introducing some sort of conflict or misunderstanding, where at the end of it you realize that the character is a much better person than you initially understood. You can see that for a lot of Straw Hats. I mean, you know, Zoro being a criminal at first or whatever, and then we find out that you know, Zoro's a criminal. Then we see this girl come up with rice balls, and it's like, get that shit the fuck out of here or whatever. And then we see Zoro like saying like, hey, let me eat those rice balls, and you kind of understand the type of person he is, you know. It's just a recurring trend with One Piece characters that Oda really likes to play with our expectations of the character. Ace, we obviously know is a good guy. But let's pretend it's like a chapter that's starting from chapter 1. It's just the classic One Piece type little character conflict where, you know, character A misunderstands character B turns out to be a really, really good person who does a really good thing. I think the way it was done here was pretty dramatic. A lot of that comes down to the artwork and, you know, a lot of that comes down to the artwork and the framing. Like, this is a cool shot, no matter how you spin it. And then just the references and callbacks is like, this scene is cool as is. How many times Ace picking up the giant sword? how many times did we wonder throughout Onigashima if that giant sword was ever going to be used? I feel like this is something that, we wanted to see a little bit in some other context. So this alone is cool. Then this feels like a callback to Luffy punching the Sea King to me. So it feels like a homage to that. But then on top of that, we get a homage to Shanks scaring off the Sea King. So it's just like back to back to back. I don't want to say fan service, but it feels right, Fan service is probably too far. I don't think it's fan service. It just feels right because it's Ace. We know he's got that conqueror spirit, so this is a great look at it. And then it's supposed to mirror Luffy's start in a way, so it's got that punch. And then beyond that, the presentation of the devil fruit, like how he gets it, I feel like it's a reward for being like, for showing the type of person he is, for showing the type of character he is. So it was a pleasant surprise. I didn't realize. Again, I knew the details of the novel, so I know some basic stuff. I know that he eats a devil fruit over the course of the beginning of the story, but I just don't remember I didn't remember what the context and stuff was of it. So the devil fruit being a sort of reward for him having saved this guy and having been a good person and shit. Even this scene where the ship breaks, that they've been working so hard on, and Ace is just like, we'll do it again. Again, those are like nice little like ways that Oda, I don't know, it feels similar to Oda's writing style, whether or not he wrote it or not, Like all this. I like the references we get throughout all this to other characters. Ace referencing his brother, talking about Whitebeard, all that stuff. A lot of the shots are really cool. Yeah, this is a really fun, refreshing read. I thought that the Ace novel also included Ace getting armament hockey, fighting a vice admiral or something like that, right before he enters the New World. So I was actually really looking forward to that more than this. Right? Thought we were going to get that. Just a Person says Oda has supervised the Ace novels. The Law novel Oda is not involved in. Okay, do I read the next chapter? I'll read one more chapter. Let's see how far we get. Okay, wait, no, we're actually getting right into the fight. Please be Ace versus Jinbei. I want to see that first. Flaming Toward. Oh, no, it's just practice. Cool. Oh, they know what a flame die. They've got a little cardboard cutout of Whitebeard that they're using for practice. Wait a sec, I just pulled my punches on that one. I'll go all out on the next one. Why are you getting so worked up? Yeah, but Daos can't, I don't think Daos can capture infinite energy. Otherwise, Daos would just be broken. I don't think you can use like a single impact Dao to like stop Whitebeard's Guruguru no Mi, right? Daos aren't that good as far as we know, right? Oh, the time has finally come. We'll go through Saboti Archipelago and Fishman Island and enter the New World. Okay, so we're not at the New World yet. I'm not taking any detours on my way to the top. That's what Luffy said, kind of, and then he took a 2-year detour. Swear it on the flag we fly. You guys are with me, all right? Our target is Whitebeard, Edward Newgate. We got a moon in the background. Okay, so I'm being told that it does skip parts. Jolly D. Joestar asks, do you like the art style? Yeah, I've been saying I like the art style for everything except I can't really get behind how characters, specifically the ones we already know of, right? Like Ace is drawn. I just don't like this. There's been moments like when Ace did the, he scared away the bird with a look. I thought that was a very well drawn moment. But panel to panel, I don't enjoy the art style for characters. We're going to charge on until we reach the pinnacle of this ocean. It's a weird combination. Okay, if I were to really break down what I don't like about it, I think it feels like a weird combination of trying to mesh an anime look. This is what I'm getting from it, right? It feels like trying to mesh an anime look with a realistic look. That's what it feels like. Like Raging Fire. Okay. The Raging Fire description is getting a little bit old, a little bit played out. I won't even say a little bit. I feel like you can only use it a couple times, and he's used it like 5 times so far, it feels like. Like a Raging Fire, Ace dashes up the ranks of this ocean with such speed that he almost burns himself. Alright, the metaphor is a bit... I mean, it's not even a metaphor. The analogy is getting a bit, too on the nose. Chapter 2, oh my god, no. Oh god, no. The Adventures of the Younger Brother. Why is he drawing Luffy's adventures? We've already seen this. Wait, I'm so confused. What the hell is this? Why are we seeing this? Is this the same point that Luffy's setting out? No, it can't be, right? No, it's not. No. Okay, good job with the navigation. Showing appreciation of my crew as part of my duties. Let's go get some food supply. Okay, Ace on Saboti. That's so cool. Are you the captain? No, I apologize. I've come as his representative. The captain was lured away by some delicious smell. Really? What? Really is in this? The captain is always free-spirited no matter what the era. I like it. It is some curious turn of fate that draws people to becoming pirates. Old man, did you used to ride on a ship too? That's a story from long ago. Okay, so Deuce, Ace's number 2, is talking to Silver's, Roger's number 2. So Ace, Deuce, Gold, Silver. That's cool. It was mere coincidence that I ended up on a ship. You know what? I knew Rayleigh's in this because I've seen this panel before. I've seen art. So I knew Whitebeard was in this because I've seen people post on Twitter like, oh, here's how Boichi drew Whitebeard. Rayleigh I forgot about, but I've seen this image before. I wasn't expecting to see him, but now that I think about it, I've seen this image before. Curious turn of fate, you say. I think we'll get along well. This seemed like Usopp for a moment to me. Silver's Rayleigh, the vice captain. Master Juice hit it off with the right hand of the Pirate King. If the Pirate King was still alive, I'm sure Captain Ace would have gotten along well with him. So Ace didn't even tell his crew at all. Don't talk about that man with me. Damn, this is cool. Mermaid Cafe. Ace. I think this is the first time we've seen Ace's like, I guess, a bit, I don't want to say Sanji side, but, you know, Ace's, woman interest side, I guess you would say, right? Mermaid Cafe, Mermaid Cove. It's on there twice. We'll play hard. We'll fight hard. We'll win hard. Yeah, there's one more phrase you're missing there. Fishman. Okay. See, I don't like this. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, which is just like, because this is kind of how Boichi kind of draws his women like this in Dr. Stone, but this is just terrible. This is just her face literally looks like a goldfish, right? Does it not look like a goldfish's face? It looks absolutely terrible. Again, I think it's trying to mesh that like, if he rolled with this art style all the while, I would think it'd be good, right? But he can't, because that's probably too much work, so sometimes he goes more like half anime, half realistic. It looks weird. Although, I think the mermaid designs are definitely more risque than probably what Oda does, which is, you know, that's your speed. Let's dig in. Who ordered all these dishes with ghost peppers? Ace likes spicy food. That's funny. Ace is doing his sleeping thing. This dude... Did none of you notice that big flag of an emperor of the sea? Behave yourselves and crawl back into the hole they came. Wait, what? Okay. Nope, makes sense. Why is this dude making it all the way to the Ace novel? Dude, One Piece heights in realistic setting? It's really interesting, right? Because in the One Piece world, like with Oda's artwork, exaggerated heights and everything, you kind of just roll with it on the fly, right? It just seems like whatever. But here it's like they really like it seems so much more imposing when even just a dude like him is talking to Ace, right? So Luffy beat this guy up. Ace is gonna beat this guy up. Oh, just conquers Haki. Oh, wait, what? Just conquers Haki. Whoa, shit. What? He's got it like that already? I was like skimming across the page looking for a punch, and then I'm like, wait, there was no punch. Okay, cool. The New World. Deuce, take a look at this. Oh, shit. What is this? Oh, is this when he goes to visit Shanks? Because He visited Shanks in a snowy place. They took down 5 famous bandits. Famous bandits. There's no such thing as famous bandits in the One Piece world. You're talking about Higuma? Yeah, so they're at Shanks' place. Shanks, you want us to face off against an emperor now? This is we're too reckless. What do you see? Do you see me as a weakling? My goal has always been the pinnacle of this ocean. I don't want to hear about it. Can I surpass the Pirate King? Of course you can, Captain. Good to hear, but I wasn't planning on fighting Red Hair anyway. I like this little bit. Showed his resolve, tested his men's resolve, and then told him I'm not doing it. That's cool. My brother's indebted to him. I just wanted to say hello. That's funny. Wait a second. So is this already heavy for... How much is Oda deliberately... So they're going up to Shanks. They see Viking stuff and giants, it looks like. Are these giants? So Oda's already basically teasing in the Ace novel that, Shanks and Elbaf, basically. Pretty explicitly. Okay, so we're getting Shanks here. This is pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. Hold on. Why is this upside down? Or sideways? Alright. Oh, shit. Are you guys seeing? Look at what Shanks looks like. Holy shit. Shanks looks like a Viking. GDN says Ace in Boichi's story is like high first commander level. Prepare yourself. Is he high first commander level? Shouldn't he, as far as I know, shouldn't he have just beaten a vice admiral? Because I kind of know Ace's... Like, I know Ace's progression was something like he beat a vice admiral right before entering... He beat a vice admiral and unlocked armament hockey right before entering the New World. And I really wanted to see that fight, because I've always imagined that as kind of being like Luffy versus Lucci. You know what I mean? Like, his version of Luffy versus Lucci. First big encounter with... Because Luffy versus Lucci was Luffy's last real power-up, right? Like, his final big fight and win before the New World. Everything else after that, Gecko Moria was not as intensive of a battle, and I feel like Luffy reached the pinnacle of his improvement with Luffy versus Lucci, right? He got his gears and everything like that, and he kind of rode that level of power through the last few arcs of the New World without really having another high-level match that forced him to really improve. He got better at using his gears, like, he could use them more consistently, but Luffy versus Lucci was kind of that final level of, that. And that gave him his final bounty heading into the New World and everything, 300 million. That set his standing among the rookies as basically the second or arguably first biggest rookie coming out of the worst generation and everything like that. So I always viewed Luffy versus Lucci as basically Luffy's final big test before the New World. Everything else was a test he failed, but that was to show him, the New World's too hard, so you should train. But that was the final test of the Grand Line, right? Luffy versus Lucci. So I kind of always assumed that Ace versus a Vice Admiral... Am I crazy? He fights a Vice Admiral, right? Ryzen17 says Morj hating hard on the art. No, I'm saying this looks really fucking good. What are you talking about? I'm sorry if that came across the wrong way, but Shanks looks really good in this art style, in my opinion. Like, this looks, again, Vinland Saga-esque. He looks like a Viking. I think this looks really, really cool. I don't know if I made that unclear. Yeah, guys, let's like the stream. Let's get the stream to 300 likes. Kurokami Najimi says he beat the Vice Admiral with relative ease and copied armament hockey from him like how Luffy copied CP9. Power Vision says, ain't no way Morj hasn't seen this art before. No, I've seen most of the depictions. There's still... So I've seen... let's see. I've seen this panel of Rayleigh. I've seen the Whitebeard panel. Shanks, if I've seen it, I don't remember. I don't remember seeing Shanks in this art style. But this looks really, really, really good. The bigger thing is... I think Rayleigh was a surprise to me in that I didn't realize Rayleigh would even be in this. But once I saw the full panel of his face, like, when I'm seeing this, I was like, holy shit, he's teasing Rayleigh. And then the next panel, I was like, oh, wait, I've seen this of Rayleigh, right? Also, lots of times on Twitter, when things come across your feed, you don't really process. You know what I mean? Sometimes you process, but I didn't really realize that, like, I knew that the Whitebeard face that I'd seen was from Boichi. I recognized this Rayleigh face from before, so I realized I must have seen it on Twitter before. But I definitely didn't put together that Rayleigh face was from the Ace novel. The bigger thing is, yeah, I like the art overall. Like, overall, no matter how you spin it, the art is better than One Piece's art, right? It's more, it's better than One Piece's art for the most part. It's more so the characters, right? So if we get to, like, again, this is, I think, atrocious, basically, and I think that's an example kind of how this art style doesn't work for me in a lot of contexts, but in other contexts it looks really, really cool. Like, this scene looks really, really cool. So it depends. And I think my biggest problem tends to be with a few characters in particular. Like, I think I don't like how Ace is drawn in part sometimes. I really didn't like Luffy's depiction at the beginning of this. Let's take a look. Where is it? Again, the mixing of anime art style with realistic art style, I just don't think works. Like, this panel, I don't think it looks that good. Luffy, I don't think looks good at all here. I think this looks really bad. But like, flip side, I think he's drawn Shanks and Rayleigh way better, you know? Okay. Looks like you guys are already talking about what's going to happen in the fight, so I'm going to try not to read that. I didn't know he had a brother. Okay. So this is a scene we already read in One Piece. You know what's fun? Hold on. Because this is the first side-by-side scene we've had, right? So, wait, this is fun. Hold on. No, this is too early. Where's the Ace flashback? Yeah, okay. So it's this scene. That's cool. So it's this full scene. Oh, we also already got this, I suppose, Whitebeard reading about it. He seems much meaner. Whitebeard seems much meaner about it in the Boichi novel, or Boichi manga. So are you serious about this? I've just got to meet him. You wanted to see me? Does he say that here? I see. So you want to meet me. Much more foreboding here, obviously, because this is a... Well, I didn't really get a look at the rest of the crew. Lucky Roo looks more badass. Where's Yasop at? We don't see Yasop. I wonder why. Yeah, the crew looks more badass. Okay, so you want to see me. I've heard you saved my little brother's life. Okay. Okay, so it's basically the same thing. But that's funny. And then he was able to stretch his arm out, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I love Shanks' dialogue. Even though this is not necessarily canon or not canon, don't trouble yourself, Masked Officer What. You're aiming for the king without any real reason. That's true. It's a good point. A journey without a purpose is only rushed by impatience. It's a good point, because Luffy goes after Pirate King. Like, he goes after the title of One Piece for freedom, right? The idea of freedom, the idea of fulfilling this grand adventure, this challenge set forth by Shanks. He is challenging the top guns basically because they're on his path to One Piece and what One Piece represents for him. Ace is just going after the top guns because he's still got this internal, basically, hatred or, you know, issues with that are built in with Roger, that he feels like he needs to one up his old man, basically, right? So he's like, I'm going to take on the guy that tied with Roger, right? I'm going to go past Pirate King. Everything about Ace is basically his pursuit, I suppose, is being framed in a much more coming from a much more negative motivation than Luffy's, which is much more pure, right? That's interesting. Yasop is far right. Where is he? Oh, I didn't even scroll up that far. All right. Yeah, Yasop looks good too. I was like, why would they not include Yasop? That guy. I'm sorry about this. I don't even want to talk about that, man. I see. That's all right then. Thanks for coming all this way. Yeah, Ace has got to learn for himself. Ace, I just thought of something. You and Luffy... I skipped this panel. You and Luffy became sworn brothers after exchanging comps. If you call the hero Garp Gramps, then your father is... Wait, so Shanks does not know that Ace is Roger's son, because Shanks was gonna say dragon here, and then that's what Shanks assumes. Ace just says he doesn't want to talk about him. A patch of ocean in the new, right? No, no, no. Never mind. He's probably assuming. I'm stupid. He probably is assuming correctly that it's Roger because he says you and Luffy became sworn brothers after exchanging Sake cups. So he knows the dragon is not his. No, unless. But if you call the hero Garb Gramps, then your father is. Because did Shanks know that? Did Shanks even know that Dragon is Luffy's father? Shanks didn't know that, right? So it's more like Shanks is coming to the conclusion. No, yeah, Shanks doesn't know because he knows that. Right here, he's saying he doesn't know that Ace is. He knows that Luffy and Ace are not blood related, but he knows that Ace calls Garp grandfather. So Shanks would assume probably that Dragon is Ace's father. Shanks did not know Luffy's lineage at all, right? In reality, Dragon is Luffy's father, and Luffy also calls Garp's Gramps because he actually is his grandpa. Whereas, we're not gonna delve too deep into this, but we'll see. A patch of ocean in the New World at one of Whitebeard's ports. Large number of fish are all frantically swimming away from the island. Oh, shit. Jinbei can't do this. This is much bigger scale than Jinbei. Although I guess in a realistic version, this is what it would look like, right? Damn, Jinbei looks cool. Holy shit. Are you guys seeing this? Jinbei looks so cool like this. Holy shit. Shanks really is like Ace's big brother in a way, says Omari Boyd. Yeah, that's true. Because, Roger was kind of father figure to Shanks. That's cool. Holy shit. Wait, this is the action that we're going to get? Ace, that guy. He's Jinbei. Oh my. This is by far the cool. This is by far the coolest Jinbei has ever looked. These 4 pages are the coolest. This is the coolest Jinbei has ever looked. Holy shit. I'm not gonna lie. One of the reasons that I didn't really care for Jinbei for the longest time, early on, he really had to grow on me, was because his fighting style, for me personally, was so incredibly lame. So lame. It just felt like really. His thing was just like slow punches. Slow punches that can deal some damage from far away. It just felt really, really immobile. Really, I don't know. I never thought Jinbei's stuff was that cool. This is really what his fighting style looks like when it's fluid and aggressive, and this is exciting. And he looks like a fucking ogre. Barging into this island without permission, even a rookie like you must know what that means. By the way, yeah, again, the art here is phenomenal for this character. This looks phenomenal. I'm getting closer and closer to saying it's really just Ace who I don't like the design of. And I think Whitebeard. But this is great. Eric R says, Oda writes, this guy draws, XD. Look, if Oda ever wants to spend more time on the story, let this dude draw. Hey, big guy, I came to meet Whitebeard. Alright, we know this happens. I couldn't care less. Firefly Light. Flame Vortex. Oh, shit. Nice. Fire Fist. Yeah, Fishman Karate looks so much cooler here. Yep, cool. He countered my flames. Yep. Matchup advantage. Where's all this water coming from? Where is the water coming from? Oh, he's pulling from all around us, from the air, beneath the earth. There's water even inside your body. This is the most fleshed out we've really seen Jinbei's fighting style, right? You're seeing water droplets going from everywhere. Yep. Cool. Guys, this is this is actually such a cool fight. So my armament hockey didn't even phase him. You touch an open flame, you're going to get burned. 5 full days. We know this. They've collapsed just watching the fight. These spade pirates are kind of ass. Okay, so he's down. He's down. And there we go. All right, the scene we wanted to see. Yep, I've seen this panel before. This is great. Where's the brat who wants to take my head? Just as you wish, I'll be your opponent. I don't mind taking all of you alone. If this goes on, Ace is going to get killed. Such powerful hockey. Damn. Yep, we saw this in the manga too. Good move. We liked it. I thought that this would come a little bit later. Because in the manga, it feels more like that we're already here. I think my interpretation reading the manga was more like the fight between Ace and Whitebeard had already gone on a bit, and Ace realized he was outmatched and then told his men to run. Whereas here it's like he's already let my men go in exchange, I will not run. Here it seems like he's already on the place of like, fuck, like I'm offering up my life practically so that these guys can survive, you know? Which seems to be a little contradictory to his previous mentality. You're always carrying the burden alone. You always rush headlong into danger on your own. Yeah, you couldn't even beat Jinbei. How exactly are you gonna win against that monster? Who cares about the top? What kind of treasure would you even find there? I like this novel. You cannot surpass the Pirate King. You don't need to surpass him, so please run away now. I like this. I like this a lot. You know why I like this a lot? Okay, so the Ace novels, I think a big part of it is I kind of just assumed that it would be a recounting of events and everything like that, but I like that it's exploring, it's giving Ace a motivation that he never really talked about much in the series itself, right? But it makes sense for him. So here he wants to surpass the Pirate King, right? So it's tracking his motivation, which it organically makes sense as being like he wants to, like, he's been living in the shadow, the suffering of his father for so long. He hates this man so much. He wants to go beyond him, surpass him, basically like trample on his old man's legacy, basically, because that's what he's been having to live with for so long, right? So that makes sense as part of his character. It's exploring his motivation to do that, and Ace's motivation when he set off to sea versus Luffy's motivation, right? And talking a lot about why Luffy's motivation, right? They're both aiming for ultimately the same thing, right? But Luffy's is more so as a consequence of something greater, right? He wants to attain the One Piece, right? Attain the One Piece, become the world's freest man, and in the process, he wants to surpass the Pirate King. Ace wants to surpass the Pirate King because he's angry, which is just not the right motivation as is being painted here. And I like that it gives the Ace novel a clear through line, or the Ace manga a clear through line that it can work around. Do I look like a weakling to you? And he keeps going back with this sort of thing of like, well, I'm not weak, I can do this. Not at all, there's no way we would think that. Our captain is strong. And this is what's really burning inside. Is it okay for... Okay, I like this so much. Is it okay for me to live if I can't find an answer to that? I won't regret dying. That's so interesting. I like that a lot. That it's bringing it back to the motivation that we know, but it's saying that basically he chose to first set out to sea and chase Roger because there's no other real meaning to his life, right? Like, he's been hearing about Roger all of his life. His entire existence is defined by Roger. He's like, I have to surpass him, right? That's just the answer that he's come to, basically, because he's been told he's not supposed to exist in everything, right? So he's fighting his old man's legacy in that sense. But then the answer that we do get to is like, okay, he doesn't need to surpass Roger anymore because, you know, he finds people that love him, etc., accept him for who he is, blah, 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 blah. That's what we're going to get to, I assume. I mean, we do in the actual story. But I like that this is providing an arc for him in the middle of all that. So basically the first, like, the arc that happened in the middle between Child Ace and Marineford Ace was basically him learning that he doesn't need to try to surpass Roger, right? Even if he hates Roger, he doesn't need to try and surpass Roger because that's not the point of his existence. He doesn't need to make that his purpose. I like that. Everyone, we're drawing what? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they're still trying to fight back. They're going to maneuver around to the back. They're gonna use the flame dial to attack. They're gonna try and save Ace. Port Gusty Ace. Great Flame Commandment. Oh, shit. What? What? What is this? Why is there so much hockey coming out? Guys, what is he? This author's going nuts. This is not. I refuse to accept this as canon. I mean, maybe it is canon, but like, this is like one of the biggest hockey. This is the biggest hockey explosion we've ever seen. What the fuck is this? This is insane. Is the hockey coming from Whitebeard? It feels like it's Ace's attack, right? This looks so cool. Earthquake fruit? No, this is clearly hockey, right? It's isn't it? It's black. This has got to be hockey, right? That's quake fruit. I guess that's what the quake fruit looks like here. It feels more like hockey to me, but I guess, you know what? I agree that it's probably the quake fruit because everything seems to be continuous lines coming out of that. Hockey is more like sparks. Let's see Whitebeard use the quake fruit. If he does, we'll get a better idea. Okay, so they lost. Is he gonna figure out that he... Yeah, you are that man's son. That's why you're always so desperate to surpass him. I like Deuce a lot. Deuce is a good character. Even without even knowing that, I said some terrible things to you, so I'm pretty sorry. Okay. And Ace is lost. Oh, shit. Is this lightning in the sky a little bit? Looks like a little bit of lightning. This is a beautiful shot. Ravana X77 says, I think it just looks bigger because this is at a more realistic scale. That's true. Jinbei's Water Twister was the same thing. Again, I don't love Ace's... I don't love the way he's drawn. Some panels I do, some panels I don't, but everything else is so good. I'm actually genuinely really enjoying that. Cloud Roger? Guys, I'm fucking stupid. I didn't even notice oh my god. I didn't even notice Roger in the sky. I just thought that these are some really cool panels. I thought that this was a really cool cloud and really cool shot. Holy shit. This is so cool. This is Mufasa vibes. I cannot wait. You guys don't understand. Yeah, someone said Simba. Amelia the Hand. You guys don't understand how much I'm hoping for this Rocks flashback. I want the Rocks flashback so bad. Darius Morse's Treasure Planet vibes? Yeah. Rod Lightning coming out. This is such a cool... I'm happy I read this. Are some of my favorite One Piece panels Loki from this Boichi adaptation? That Roger panel is amazing. Right? Because, okay, here's the thing. I thought it's a really cool shot, even without the Roger stuff. I like also, now I'm going back to explore. I like that we cut from Blackbeard away to the moon. I like that. I like Deuce as a character. I thought that this was just a really cool shot of a defeated Ace looking up at the dark sky and the moon and everything like that, even before I saw the Roger stuff. Now I think it's just like, this is awesome. This is like low-key one of my favorite One Piece panels ever. Lion piece. I really want to see the Rocks flashback so bad now. I hope we get it soon. When do you guys think we're getting it? When do you think we're getting the Rocks flashback? William says, nah, Cloud Roger's silly as fuck. I think, you know what's funny? So this is a case actually where I think this only works in my opinion. Only works in my opinion in this art style. I think there are a lot of things that work better in the One Piece usual art style, but I feel like this works better in this art style. Here's why. I think that with this you can toe the line with drawing some very realistic looking like heavy black clouds and stuff, and just having the slightest, because I missed it the first time I saw it, right? So it's not I feel like some other people did miss it, right? So I feel like that means in itself that it's playing the line between it's not being really blatant like, oh, here's Roger's face in the sky, but it is clearly like the idea is clearly there if you look at it. The feeling is still there, right? So it's Ace looking up in a very dark sky after having just had, you know, his idea of himself, his visions for the future, his goals, etc. basically crushed, right? And having to reflect, and he's still seeing like very dark clouds above him, and they're taking shape of his father. So I feel like this level of because this level of shading and stuff that would get it to a point where you can see the silhouette obviously and you get exactly what they're going for, but it's not so blatant that I think it's like comical that you just see like a just Roger's face straight up basically. So to me, I feel like this is perfect. He got something good out of it, and I feel like it, because it's not like literally it's taking the shape of Roger's face, right? This is what Ace is essentially seeing, and you can pull off that aesthetic with this sort of very realistic cloud shading and everything like that, right? So I think that in Oda's art style, this wouldn't work. It would just look like blatantly like Roger's face, or not like Roger's face. It only works here where you can kind of toe the line of realism. Ray Uchiha says, are we going to get an Ace manga video review? That feel, honestly, I think it's, I want to look a little bit more into how canon it is. I want to get a little bit more look into how canon it is, because I don't want to go off into like a full thing on, you know, how interesting it is, consider like when if this is just some shit that Boichi's mostly making up. Maybe I need to take a look like at the details, or ask someone the details of like, was this line said in the novel, was this made clear in the novel, things like that. But I do think that yeah, I just think that if this is accurate to Ace's story and everything like that, I think it adds a great layer to his character and a great piece to Luffy and his motivations and what makes him the right person to, you know, to become Pirate King, to become the successor to Joy Boy, things like that, versus Ace, who in theory would be perfect, but the things that are holding Ace back, it's fleshed out so much more in here, and kind of shows the divide between who he is and Luffy is and why that difference matters. So I think that this is actually really, really good so far. I'm very happy that I read this. Cigar Verk, thanks for being a Yonko tier member for 5 months. Might get some more info from Saturn and Vega, but I guess Shanks arc might have a Rocks flashback. What's the chance of Thriller Bark being God Valley? Thriller Bark being God Valley? I don't know about that, but Shanks arc might have a Rocks flashback. I mean, I would love to see the Garp's Blackbeard pirate situation. I think that's the one that a lot of us are eyeing, right? Cloaksy as being insight into Rocks Valley, because Garp is a survivor of that incident. Cloaksy says, definitely prefer this style. I love the contrast of realistic serious shots with cartoonish ones for less serious shots. That's what I want from One Piece. I like it when it goes very blatant, right? Like, so we have panels that are very blatant, cartoony One Piece. I think it's just tricky for me when it's, like, let's see what Ace looks like here. I don't like these type of expressions where it's realistic anime. That's what I'd say. So, but those are, I think only Ace is the character I see that he's consistently kind of falling back on that sort of style with. Everyone else looks really good. Okay, so the flashbacks. Someone stronger than me, I won't acknowledge that. Oh, Roger's face is still there. I don't know if it needed to still be there. Lost, I'll surpass the Pirate King. Damn, why does Thatch look badass? J Bro says, you only care about canon, do you, so we'll never make a One Piece party video. What does that mean? You understand your situation. Why does Thatch look cool? What the fuck? Smell my finger one says, did Morj watch Film Red yet? I've watched enough clips. I know what happens in Film Red. How would Bucci draw your fifth? Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think that works. Alright, I should probably tell you what happened. Crew got crushed. Dude, that's the thing. I just don't get it. I love the way Thatch is drawn. I don't like the way Ace is drawn. Why does he look like a fucking gremlin? Holy shit. Why does Thatch look so strong? I keep mistaking this dude for Brooke. I keep thinking he's Brooke. Oh, the sleeping scene. Someone said that Ace is written like a first commander here. I don't think so at all. I mean, he's still shown tying with Jinbei, who's definitely not first commander level at all, or even close. And Whitebeard can beat him in his sleep, which I don't think. I don't think Whitebeard could beat. Yeah, I don't think Whitebeard could beat Marco in his sleep. I mean, we saw that even Big Mom can't put down Marco easily. Right? And Big Mom should be about as strong as Whitebeard at this point, right? I don't think that. Like, you know, Luffy was first commander level when he fought Kaido, and, you know, it's not like Kaido still had to try. He couldn't just beat him in his sleep, right? He one shot at Luffy at the end of the day, but it was a named attack using advanced Conqueror's Haki, and, like, Kaido clearly, like, tried, right? This is more like, yeah, this is like Jinbei level, what I'm seeing here. Hey, what you doing? You gotta watch yourself in the middle of the night. Pops really tosses and turns in his sleep. The bastard's still sleep. Yeah, he's still sleeping, and his crew just keeps drinking and chatting. They're clearly underestimating me. Attacking at night, are we? I don't know about this though. I don't feel like Ace would try and kill somebody in their sleep. So, I mean, it's canon. It happened in the. It's because like okay, it obviously happens here, in the actual canon, obviously, but because it's a blink and you miss it moment and it feels kind of montagey and it's just like Ace is trying to get Whitebeard over and over again, I don't really think about it actively, but I'm like, damn, why is Ace trying to cheese his way to a win? That's not like his usual style, I would think, right? He's more of a head-on, do it like a man kind of guy. Cigar versus Moria had rocks pirates as zombies. He might have wandered on a part of Broken God Valley after destruction. Shanks might be related to the God Valley incident. Yeah, most people think that Shanks is a baby that came out of the Rocks Valley incident because Shanks would be Rox's kid or something. And that's an interesting point about Thriller Bark. It's true that Moria has a lot of zombies there conveniently, but at the same time, Moria, you know, he is Ryuma's zombie, so it's like, it's also just as likely that Moria went around collecting corpses. Okay, so this stuff happens. Pops, you're a weird pirate crew. I'm glad that someone calls them out on that. The way Boichi he does women's bodies great. It's the faces that I can't get over. Why are we still at the goldfish face? What is this? But he definitely his fan service is definitely better than One Piece fan service. You're really just here because you're to that leopard print, are you? You're always I guess his mentality is kind of like he realizes how far the gap is, but he feels like he has to take out Whitebeard no matter what for the sake of his crew. I'm your captain. I need to take out Whitebeard. So at this point, it's kind of like it's beyond. It's gotten that point. Flame like that won't be enough to burn the skin of my palm. Yeah. Teddy says pirates use underhanded tactics. I don't like that excuse because it's missing the nuance of the series. Yes, lots of pirates do, but the idea is that the strongest pirates, so like what makes Luffy strong is that he doesn't want to win underhanded, right? And Luffy makes that pretty clear. Like Luffy's talked about that at multiple points, which is like the way Luffy's talks about it, you actually get a really good look at it during the Katakuri fight, which is Katakuri stabs himself and Luffy's like, don't worry about it, like it's a pirate fight, rules don't matter. So Luffy doesn't mind when other people are cheating against him. Like he's not gonna say shit if Crocodile's pulling out a pirate hook or anything like that. But on the flip side, Luffy always wants to do things straight up. Like he wants to be stronger than the other people, right? So during the Katakuri fight, he's got Brule, he's stepped outside the mirror world, he's thinking to himself like, well, I could cheat, I could cheese the fight by trying to, just evade Katakuri and make him use up his haki and stamina. But he's like, no, that's not how I want to do it. I want to surpass him straight up, right? I want to beat him at his full strength, the full 1 billion berries. That's the full quote, right? So the strongest pirates don't do that sort of thing, right? There's a pride to it. Like, it's the same way Luffy thinks. It's the same way Zoro thinks. Like, they don't want to cheese it. That's stuff that's, like, pretty explicit in the story. And that's what makes them... That's the difference between, like, Luffy versus Blackbeard, right? That's the whole point, which is the way Luffy does everything is straight up. The same way Luffy's like, well, I don't want to go on a boring adventure, so don't tell me any shortcut, right? There's a correct way to do it. Yeah, it's entirely fair, and pirates, like, Luffy's not going to blame any other pirates for using whatever tactics they want to use in a fight. But he himself feels like doing it the right way. Not because he has to, not because it's a rule, not because there's a code of honor or whatever, but he feels like doing it the right way, and that in itself is what makes Luffy so strong, right? He wants to beat people straight up. What does he say to Crocodile? He's like, I want to surpass you. What does he say to Katakuri? He says, I want to surpass you. What does he say to Kaido and Big Mom? He says, I'm going to surpass both of you, right? That's his goal at the end of the day. He wants to surpass both of them. It's not enough that he just, like, kills them in their sleep or something like that, That's not to say anything against Ace here, because you get the mentality of Ace being also somewhat, like, he's mentally broken at this point, so this isn't his usual self, and also he's, like, he's doing it for his crew. I think Luffy would do, like, if it was, like, look, I gotta kill Whitebeard in his sleep, otherwise my crew dies, or something like that, then I'm sure Luffy would do whatever he needed to do, right? There's priorities at a certain point. Oh, Ace wants to surpass him too. But at that point, then why is he still trying to cheat? Ace trained under Thatch? Charles Bradley says Luffy also ran away. Yeah, but he came back. That's the point. Katakuri even talked about him with this, like, why didn't you just run away? Are you afraid that you'd be like known as a coward who ran away? And Luffy's like, I'm done running away. I'm going to fight you, right? Just because Luffy took a step back doesn't change the fact that he settled on, no, I'm going to do this straight up. You guys are getting hung up on technicalities, like, oh, correct way by kidnapping Brule. I'm just saying what Oda's trying to communicate by what he's having the characters say, right? Even if technically you're like, well, Luffy did this or technically did that. If Oda's not writing it perfect, that's what that is. But what's he having the character's mentality actually be? That's what he's communicating to you pretty clearly, right? If you're like, well, if Luffy's trying to surpass him, then he should never have stepped out of the mirror world or whatever. It's like, okay, if you want to go on a technicality, that's fine, but that doesn't change what Luffy's, like, actual stated mentality is that is being communicated to us by the author, which is he does not want to cheat, and he wants to fight Katakuri straight up. Like, it's as explicit as it gets. And that's, like, the same mentality he's had with, like, every opponent that he's made clear so far. Like, his goal is to be stronger by the opponent by the end of the fight. That's what he says with Crocodile, with Katakuri, with Kaido, and Big Mom. Wait, I'm not complaining about anything here. Wait, why are people saying I'm complaining? What am I complaining about? I literally don't get it. I think I'm just talking about what Luffy's saying. I don't know what people think I'm complaining about. I'm not complaining about that aspect of Luffy's character. I think that's cool. Oh, no. No. What? Are you serious, dude? Now I'm complaining. Again, I'll say that like the character designs here I feel like are very hit or miss. Some are phenomenal. Again, Shanks, really. I think most characters, Jinbei, phenomenal. Better than I'd say the One Piece art style. Um Ace is very hit or miss for me. Some panels I think he's cool. For most panels I don't like his art style. Tatch, awesome. Marco is the first one I'm like truly, truly, truly horrific. Terrible. Absolutely awful. Don't know what's going on here. So this is like a lot of training. You shouldn't grow if you can't bite. Okay, so the thought of doing exactly what Thatch wants pisses me off, but the battlefield is certainly the perfect place to sharpen my fangs. I like that. So Ace getting to learn a lot. Still going, still montaging. Getting stronger. Okay, so when people said Ace gets to first commander level, maybe this is what they're talking about. Is this Kaku before Kaku? What? Wait. Holy shit. Did Ace kill the previous giraffe devil fruit user? That's crazy. Oh my god. Great observation hockey. So he's got that down too. So Blackbeard's playing the fool. I like that. Food Vaulton. Okay. Okay, so after 100 tries, he has to try. He has to join the crew. Ace Blackbeard dynamic earlier. They're friends. That's sad. If you want it, you've got to kill him. They say, oh, shit. See, this is the... What happened with Marco? This is more like it, right? Man, Thatch doesn't know. Ace is still pretending he's not a crewmate. Oh, he's... That's a funny gag. Blackbeard pretending that he wants the clear fruit. Like this depiction of this scene. A firefly compared to the sun. That's a nice way to put it. I like some of the dialogue here. So he's getting stronger. Oh shit, like this panel. That fight felt somewhat worthwhile. Oh shit. Come at me anytime you snot nose red. He's getting closer. Oh shit. Yeah, like the okay, this do you guys see what I'm saying? Sometimes the art style is like sometimes he draws Ace's face phenomenally well. Other times it's just not it. Okay, I get okay. So they're saying he's gotten good at observation hockey. He's in tricks. Still not gonna be enough. Okay, so that stuff we saw earlier was depictions of the Guragurnami. Oh shit, this looks crazy. Pops used his earthquake power. Okay, so normally he doesn't use that. So never mind, the other time it was hockey. I finally... Okay. Okay, cool. First commander level, I think still might be... Maybe that's about right now. Maybe that's about right. Maybe first... He's at least definitely, like, clearly in the commander range. Like, top few commander range, you know what I mean? Yeah, like this I hate. I hate this I hate this depiction of him. I hate this depiction of him. But what we had up here... Where was it? This is phenomenal. Alright, where are we at? Challenging a man you've acknowledged. Ace likes Whitebeard now. But fighting him at his current level day after day is just too much for you. Damn. Like it. If I did, that reckless kid would go rush off to his death somewhere else. And that's not happening on my... Oh my god, wait. This is a... Holy shit, wait. This is a phenomenal line. Because it's so true. It's literally... Oh my god, this is a phenomenal line. I love this line. Is this in the novel? Did Oda write this? Because it really puts it into perspective so much. Because here we... In the actual story, right, we do skip a little bit. I don't expect anything more. I thought that the Ace Whitebeard flashback in the actual One Piece manga is great. It's just like, you know, it gives us enough information we need to know that over time Ace began to realize that like Whitebeard just kind of slowly grew on him, right? As Ace slowly realized like no matter what he does, how much he tries to kill Whitebeard, he's always going to be welcome, etc. But I love this because it goes straight to the heart of Ace's problems, especially what's been played up more here in this manga more than anything else. Which is just the truth. Like, if Ace ran at Kaido like this over and over, Kaido would just kill him at a certain point, right? If Ace ran at Big Mom like this over and over, Big Mom would just kill him at a certain point. Even Shanks. I feel like with the Shanks kid scenario right now, I feel like Shanks isn't lying past a certain point. Like, no, because he's Luffy's brother, so Shanks wouldn't do it. But you know what I mean? Like, take any other strong pirate, right? If Ace kept running at them like this, if Ace at his level initially, right? The level where he tied with, like, right out of the New World, if he came at Doflamingo or something like that, Doflamingo would probably have killed him. So it is Ace's fatal flaw, right? That he can't back down, that he has to keep going. It is his fatal flaw. It's what ultimately kills him in real life in the end when he goes up against Akainu, who is way out of his league. And it's just the truth. And Whitebeard deciding to be this punching bag for him, like it's something that's not even it's not covered here. Which it didn't need to be. I think that this all, like the way the Ace Whitebeard dynamic is played out and built up in the actual manga is great. But this adds another layer to it in terms of what Whitebeard is thinking and what Whitebeard said that initially really brought Ace back around to him. Because, yeah, he just talked about his fatal flaw. Straight up. And it is ultimately what kills him, which makes this so much more tragic. But it's also ultimately what makes Ace realize that Whitebeard really does want the best for him. Because Ace knows it's true. If it wasn't Whitebeard, if it was any other great pirate, then Ace would be dead right now. This is great. I really like this a lot. You have to stop him. Sorry, you can't. The time and place of the 100th duel. Ace began to change little by little. Okay, hold on. Okay. So they're fighting again. The Whitebeard pirates and the Spade pirates. I didn't realize that they would have one more duel like this. Alright, I have to apologize, guys. I do have to call it a stream here, but this was a lot of fun. I'm gonna wait to... I think I'll stream this Thursday or next Monday. So I'll make a post about it. because I was also thinking of streaming Sekiro, right? So I could do 2-in-1 or something like that. So I will wait to finish this out on stream, but I really, 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 really enjoyed this stream. Because I thought that this was just way, way, way better. I was gonna breeze through these 4 chapters. I thought that it was gonna be real quick, but the first chapter was shockingly good, and I was like, damn, the first chapter is really good. I wonder if the others will be as good as that. And the next 2 are even better. The writing, I think that the writing in this is really, really good. It's very true to, the art is great. Even the gags and stuff are great. Most stuff is being drawn on from the manga and replaying actual scenes just with a bit more detail and fleshing it out. And I think that the writing is perfect in that it plays into exactly what you would expect, kind of in between the line, like the missed scenes and missed dialogue that we didn't get in the actual story. So I think that it's really, really good, and there's actually a lot of prominent lines. Like, this is phenomenal right here. I think that there's really good moments and well-written moments in each of the 3 chapters so far, and it's only been 3 chapters. And lastly, the art, again, I can't say enough, but I think, like, gotta appreciate that Roger Cloud panel, because that's something that can't be done in the real series, right? So I like this a lot. I'm gonna stream this again. I will stream this. I know there's one more chapter. I just can't. I literally can't. It's already gone further than planned. There's only one more chapter. All right. Let me do one. I'll do one more chapter. One more. Don't be Oda. I'll do one more chapter. Fine. I'll do one more chapter. It's just one more chapter. Do one more chapter. I'll go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Don't ignore. All right. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Because I also have... You guys don't understand. I have shit to do. I have to review the video for tomorrow and stuff like that. Hold on. Give me a second. Because the thing is, if I read this, I have to, like, really skim through it, and I don't want to. Okay. Alright. Because it's going to be an action chapter, I'll do it. Okay. This one I might be skimming through a little quick. You are a part that holds a mighty flame in the palm of your hand. Alright. See, Ace and Luffy here, he's just inconsistent with the Ace drawing. It really bothers me. Sometimes it's so good, sometimes it's this. And Luffy looks absolutely terrible. Like, least likable hero ever. Um, yeah. Roger and Whitebeard, I don't have a good angle to comment on them here. Okay. One Piece, I'll pass. I've seen this posted a lot, actually. When, but out of context. Okay. Even in this day and age, not interested in the Pirate King's leftovers. All I care about is taking the top, nothing else. You're aiming for the king without any real reason. A journey without a purpose is only rushed by impatience. Love that line by Shanks. Red Hair was exactly right. Ace blazed through the ocean, his impatience burning through his body. When I think back to the look on your face back then, I can't help but feel that this man might just be able to become the purpose you've been seeking. It's true. Mark Ross, thanks for being a Yonko tier member for 5 months. You think it's possible for Seraphim to have multiple devil fruits and their use is limited by how much of that liquid they contain? Yeah. I don't know. I think multiple devil fruits might just be a Blackbeard thing, because once the Seraphim are doing it too, then it's like, well, Blackbeard thinks he's a big deal, but because he's got 2. But fucking S. Gecko Moria has like 5, so it's like, I don't know. They've started. Will this island hold? Jinbei, what do you make of them? He's ready for this. I'm honestly amazed. Yeah, he's left Jinbei in the dust. It's like he's a completely different person from the one who fought me. I think I've always underestimated Ace at Marineford. Because I think, well, I don't think I was the only one. I think that a lot of people, like the view at the time of Marineford was that Ace is probably, because we didn't have like a ton of context back then, right? And Ace never showed any signs of haki and everything like that, whereas we were able to assume, like, we saw Jozu use haki. We saw Vista, obviously, with Mihawk and everything. So I think at the time, most people assumed that Ace was below Marco, Jozu, and Vista. Right now, I don't, before reading the rest of this, right? I think and the only context we had was that he was equal to Jinbei. That was 2 years ago. It was hard to say how much Ace might have improved during that time or whatever, but I think, yeah, back then I viewed Ace as probably below Marco, Jozu, and Vista by a little bit, and now I'm like, well, Ace, the only one I'd definitely say he was below was Marco, in my opinion. It definitely still felt like Marco was the strongest, but and Marco's just done the most against Admirals and all of that stuff, right? But let's take a look here. And I don't know how canon all of this is going to be versus just Boichi's depiction. Oh, wait, is this Future Sight? Or just regular observation haki? What's happening here? I guess just observation haki. This is like Roger and Whitebeard. Did he knock Whitebeard's spear out of his hands? What? Can someone tell me how canon this fight is? This is crazy. Great Flame Commandment, Demon Inferno. Oh, shit. Never before seen attack. He's not gonna dodge. Yeah, we didn't get this scene. So it's cool that we're getting the flashback now. I wish... God damn it, Marco. I can't take you seriously, even though it's a good... Fuck, whatever. Oh, shit. This is crazy. Gama says they made Ace dumb busted. This is crazy. This is like... I mean, we've seen Ace do an attack on this scale before against Blackbeard, essentially, like his final attack, the final clash. But this is against Whitebeard. It just carries a different, weight. Um, Also the realism. Holy shit! This is crazy. Okay, for a moment it looks like Ace is. Okay, I was like, is Whitebeard gonna fall? Okay, but it's really that. Okay, okay. Are you satisfied now, my son? Oh man. Wait, I missed this panel. Even 10, I was waiting to see the continuation of this. Even 10-year olds know this much: the pirate known as Whitebeard is more fearsome than any demon. That is badass. After Ace tries to use a big demonic attack. So the victor was decided, but not one person truly lost on that day. It was a merry day. I like this so much. It adds, again, the Ace Whitebeard dynamic as seen in the actual manga. It's really really good. It doesn't need anything more. It's just this adds stuff to it without ever being like overly. It adds stuff to it that feels very very organic to what we already saw of the story, and adds certain beats that are fairly like we missed particular beats. We saw in the manga, original One Piece manga, we're seeing like a montage style progression, right? This actually shows the big turning point, pivotal moments, right? So we in the manga we're seeing a gradual progression, and we kind of understand that Ace just over time changes, and it feels organic there. Here we're getting to see the actual moments of change, and they're all done really, really well in my opinion. GDN says, I said first commander because Admiral is too much, lol. Yeah, I mean, like, this is really wild. Anime Dimension says, have you seen Rob Lucci and Boa Hancock Devil Fruits? I can see someone posted on Twitter. Their design is good. I don't know if I've seen their Devil Fruits. I don't know. Izzo's here. We will now commence the sake cup ceremony. My name is Izzo. It is my great honor to oversee this proceeding. I'm sorry, I can't see Izzo without laughing, just knowing the way that Wano went and how this character was used. Not really. Here's our backup scabbard that we had lying around in the corner, and they're around. Oh no, they died. What the fuck? They died in some dramatic way? No, they kind of just died in some weird, weird off to the side in a corner kind of a way. Now come forth, Thatch the cupbearer, Marco the observer, and Teach the witness. And now the Spade Pirates are hereby disbanded. That's sweet. And I used to say that the Spade Pirates sucked because they abandoned Ace, but it's so much better understood and depicted in this novel. I think I like Deuce quite a bit. I like the Brook knockoff for what few panels we saw. Sorry for my selfishness. They gave me the option of us staying as just an allied fleet, but I wanted to take responsibility for my mistakes. If any of you... Oh, they even had the option. Damn, that's awesome. You know what's cool? What I loved in this is that over the course of it, like the Ace that I talked about this with you here at the beginning of the stream, which was that I always felt like Alabasta Ace and Marineford Ace had a very... We never saw like obviously it made sense as two sides of the same character, but we never saw because we only saw Ace in one way first, right? Alabasta, his cover story where it's like lighter, his like more Luffy-esque side, and then Marineford where it's all the serious angsty side, and we never saw really a bridge between those two sides. What I like is I forgot that the beginning of this manga, the way Ace like talked and interacted with his crew and everything like that, to now it feels like we saw the full spectrum of his character, right? What he once like, not what he once was like, because he's still like that, right? We see him again in Alabasta, but like we see the lighter side of his character as he's first meeting Deuce, and then we're slowly digging into the deeper, more conflicted side of him, and that conflicted side is what is being more heavily focused on in the latter chapters. But this kind of takes you back to the lighthearted beginnings. Oh, this is a great scene too. This is a great scene too. Because burning the flag, like burning your flag, is normally like such a bad thing. Like it's a point of defeat, but here it's sort of rebirth, and it's like one last send off for the fire that used to consume him. I really like this. Yeah, see, like this was the style Ace was written in. When we first saw him, then we saw the heavier side of him over and over as this developed. Cigar Verk says, "Why didn't the Spade Pirates come rescue Ace at Marineford? Something Oda does. Sometimes Oda does things that make no sense to me. No, Roger Pirates came. Roger Pirates are the biggest frauds." Uh, Look, it's the way it's not. Oda can't think of every little thing. I don't know how well he had Deuce and all of that planned out in the back of his head at that time. That's not his fault. And this is really great. "My name is Portgas the Ace. I set sail with huge ambitions, but what accomplishments do I carry upon my back? Absolutely nothing. I came here for one purpose, but before I knew it, I started to feel something I didn't expect. That if I stayed here, I might finally discover what I was always yearning for. So I humbly ask if you please bestow your mark upon this empty back of mine. Have faith in me, Pops." Wow. This is so good, guys. What the fuck? Why does this random Ace side manga... It has no right being so good. "I set sail with huge ambitions, but what accomplishments do I carry upon my back? Absolutely nothing. So I humbly ask if you please bestow your mark upon this empty back of mine." This is so good. It's crazy. Like, he abandoned the ambition that the incorrect ambition, I suppose you would say, that he misguided, I suppose is a better word, ambition that he once had that consumed him, right? And he found what he was actually looking for, and he's willing to live under that from now on, right? But the obviously that makes sense, right? But the phrasing of everything, even just this, like, what accomplishments do I carry upon my back? I set sail with huge ambitions, but what accomplishments do I carry upon my back? Absolutely nothing. So I humbly ask if you please bestow your mark upon this empty back of mine. Because he's found, I don't know, it's really, really, really good. He had all those burdens upon his shoulders up till now, but now the only thing he wants to carry on his back is Whitebeard, because that's what he's found he wants to live for. You've really grown up. I'm sure my skull and crossbones have no complaints either. Congratulations, these two men that sit before you are now father and son. Oh, shit. Yet another day where the waves of nostalgia come flooding in. Does it know what I'm thinking right now? That's crazy. Another day where the waves of nostalgia come flooding in. Flame Emperor says, "Last chat got a point. Rayleigh and Scopper really let Ace die." Shake my head. I don't think it was on Rayleigh to save... It's not on Rayleigh to save Ace. It's not on Rayleigh. And it's not on Scopper either. Just because it's their captain's son, like, it's cool if they decide to go do so, but these are all, like, it's a pirate's world, right? Ace set off to sea. He knew what was happening. He's responsible for his own actions. He's his own man. They don't need to go save him just because he's Roger's son, right? Roger's baby. They don't need to go save him because of that. I don't think that they dropped the ball on that or anything. Whitebeard is Ace's father. It was Whitebeard's responsibility. Whitebeard was the direct connection. Ace was his son. Whitebeard went to go save him. Especially because Ace denounced Roger. Ace does not view himself as Roger's son, right? So Ace himself would have been very unhappy if Rayleigh and Scopper Gaban showed up, because he's like, fuck off. You guys are no relation to me. You guys are only connected to that guy, and I hate that guy. Yokai says, "Femboy Ace." I didn't want to say it to ruin the moment. Jolly G Joestar says, "Rayleigh finds out Ace is Roger's kid, and then he died 30 minutes later." I think either way, I don't think Rayleigh had any business having to go there. I would go so far as to say that yeah, I just don't think that, here's how far I would go. I would say that if Luffy was, think about it like this, if Luffy right now was captured by the Marines and being put to execution on Marineford, I don't think it's Rayleigh's place to go save him. I don't. Luffy's a grown-ass man, right? He's a pirate. He'll have made all the decisions he wanted to make. If he decides to go to, like, go up against the world government or something and gets captured, I don't think Rayleigh, like, I wouldn't be like, why isn't Rayleigh coming to save him, you know? It's one thing if they're on Sabaody and Kizaru's right there and Rayleigh jumps in to save him or something like that. But, you know, just because Rayleigh trained Luffy for 2 years, right? And Rayleigh is essentially this mentor figure, Luffy's his protege and everything like that, Luffy's his apprentice. At the end of the day, now once Luffy's off in the world, that's Luffy's life. I don't think we should be expecting Rayleigh to jump in and save Luffy at the drop of a hat. It's the same way that Shanks is a real father figure to Luffy in some sense. Father is maybe too much, but at the very least, like a big inspirational mentor figure. We don't expect Shanks to be swooping in to save Luffy all the time, right? You know, it's nice when it's convenient. He's already around Wano, and so he's like, he'll scare off Green Bull. He's already coming to Marineford to do other things like stop the war, so he'll help Luffy out then. But I don't think that these figures should be expected to go save stuff like that. And then once you get to Rayleigh and Ace, that's a really tangential connection because yes, Ace is Roger's son, but Ace grew up completely independent of all that, and Ace rejected Roger in every way, right? It's just like Rayleigh has no connection to Ace at that point, in my opinion. I mean, he does in the sense that it would be nice if he went, and I'm sure that if we had a Kizaru situation, like Ace was on Sabaody and someone was like an admiral was trying to attack him, I'm sure Rayleigh would jump in. But Rayleigh has no place like coming out of retirement, going to war with the world government, the biggest world war the Great Pirate Era has ever had, for the sake of a baby that hates him, or basically rejected him, right? Kurakami Najimi says Rayleigh helped Boa because of his girl. Yeah, like, it seems like Rayleigh was brought in that sense. And again, there's a huge difference between Rayleigh showing up at Amazon Lily, where it seems like that's kind of a place that he likes to go to anyway. Like, Rayleigh kind of just swam over there, versus going to Marineford to go to war for, again, someone they don't really have, like, a true connection, right? So Garverk says Rayleigh literally went with Luffy to Marineford. Yeah, but not to go save Luffy at Marineford. Rayleigh escorted Luffy there. You're not getting what I'm saying. Like, it's not Rayleigh's responsibility to jump in anytime Luffy's in trouble from here on out. And we know that that's not a thing that he's going to do, right? It's not like Rayleigh's like, oh, Luffy's at Marineford, time to go run over and save him or anything like that, right? Like, Luffy asks, can you escort me? He's gonna do nice things. It's the same way that, like, if Kizaru's bearing down at him at Sabaody, Rayleigh's gonna jump in and protect him. But that's not the same as being like, there's an obligation there that Rayleigh has to travel over and save Luffy anytime if Doflamingo's gonna kill him, or like, oh no, Luffy got captured in Wano, Rayleigh's gonna go come save him or something like that, right? GDN says Rayleigh went all the way to save Boa, though. Was he called in? Because it seems in that situation he was called in, right? It's not as though, one, it seemed like he was called in, two, he's already like close friends with Boa is his friend, right? So if Rayleigh chooses to save him, that's cool. But you guys aren't getting what I'm saying, right? There's no obligation there to do that, right? Rayleigh likes traveling to Amazon Lily, that's cool. Rayleigh's girl is from Amazon Lily, she called him in, that's cool. If Luffy asked Rayleigh to help him, Rayleigh would probably go help Luffy too, right? Going to help your friends is always cool. But Ace is someone that he has no connection with, right? There's no connection between Rayleigh and Ace. Yes, he's Roger's son, but Ace grew up with no memory, nothing of Roger whatsoever. Ace has rejected Roger. Ace has chosen Whitebeard as his father. There's no bond there. They've never fucking met. Like, there's nothing there, you know? It would be nice if Rayleigh was like, you know, in memory of my late captain, I'm going to go help out Ace. But to say, like, Rayleigh should have gone to Marineford, that's crazy. Like, that makes no sense. Like, think about, you know, just think about it in the real world and what you would do for your best friend that died 20 years ago who happened to have a kid that you've never met. Like, I'm sure you would help him out if, you know, they happen to come across your way or something. Also, imagine this kid hates your best friend. He's rejected that father, picked a different father, different family or whatever, right? I'm sure you'd help this kid out, but you wouldn't, like, fucking, like, be like, oh, no, this kid's being fucking, like, he's gonna die in a street war or something like that. I'm gonna go fucking save his life or something. Like, would you feel a responsibility to do that? It'd be nice if you did, but, you know, like, you've never fucking met this kid, right? Your friend's been dead for 20 years. The kid's never even fucking met your friend. The kid has picked a different family and has a different adopted father. There's so many degrees of separation there. Again, nice to do. Responsibility? No, none whatsoever. Cigarverk says, yeah, Roger could not have called him to help Ace. I don't get what that means. All right, we're going to keep moving. Even though our ship had changed, the end was nowhere in sight. The adventure progressed ever forwards, or at least that's what I thought. Oh my god, this random bullshit. Irrelevant to the Wano arc whatsoever. Oh, shit. No! Why does this panel look so bad? Thank you for loving me. Oh, wait, but they did this in the original One Piece style. And it looks really good like that. Who the fuck is this? There's only 2 shipwrights in the One Piece world. That's Frankie and Tom. Oh, you're gonna use the flame dial. He's gonna use the flame dial for it. Jolly D. Joestar says Ray wouldn't have arrived on time. Yeah, possible. Flame Emperor says, I wonder if Rayleigh thought Ace could have been the man Roger was waiting for. He probably could have thought that, but then he met Luffy. So, you know. If your flame starts to die down, the waves will swallow you up for sure. I like that line. I like this line. This is nice, I guess not subtle writing. You know, nice subtle writing. You sure you gather enough power in that thing? Ride the ship with me until we reach the top. There isn't a flame on this ocean that burns hot in this one. Big news, Morgans! What? Why is he here? Oh, he became a writer. He really did. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, man. I love this ending a lot. Doesn't want to talk about Ace, doesn't want to talk about Straw Hat, doesn't want to talk about Sabo. It's a pretty freaking narrow scope. I've got to see it with my own eyes. Well, he never meets Luffy. But damn, that was really good. That was really, really, really good. That's Tom's cousin, John. GDN says, I want to see Boichi Akainu. Yeah, I think it would look really cool. Mr. DB says Akainu's flames were hotter. Yeah, it's like this was factually not true, and it literally caused Ace to die. But you know, it's a cool line, guys. All right, let's go. Flame Emperor says, but then again, Luffy isn't trying to save Kobe, so your point is right, Morj. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people putting all these obligations on characters to go do X or Y. It's just like, no, they've talked about this in the story. Why that's not an obligation, right? They're not obligated to go save Vivi. They're not obligated to go save Kobe. If things get to a certain point where it's like, fuck, Vivi is literally going to die unless someone goes and does something, then it's like, yeah, Luffy would probably be like, let's go do something about it, the same way he did with Ace. But, you know, in lots of cases, they kind of play it by ear where they're like, there's no obligation to go save this person. You kind of got to gauge how extreme you think the situation is. And then from there, you can kind of be like, okay, maybe we go, maybe we don't, right? That's it. All right, guys. Let's go. This was a longer stream than expected, but I definitely enjoyed reading it, so I don't regret it. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Maybe there's some other cool One Piece actual manga stuff that I could read at some point. We'll wait and see, but I think that this is the only one that's out, right? There's no like law manga or anything like that. So let's leave it at that. And stream Thursday, I will let you guys know. I might do a post or something about it. If I do, it'll probably be me playing a game or something like that while I talk.